Okay. We're live. Can y'all see us?
I have YouTube open, still waiting for Francis. Uh, yeah. Oh, shit! There it is!
Yeah. Alright. Can you guys see us and hear us? Perfect. We did
First of all, Francis,
it!
thank you.
Oh.
Thank you so much for dealing with me as I way through trying to figure out these tech issues. You're an absolute peach.
Alright. We're good. Okay. Alright, let me open the chat doc. Where is the chat doc? Where is the chat doc? In the fucking... OBS, where is the chat doc? Why can't I see the chat doc? Okay. I can also just look at it on YouTube. That's fine.
Is that too?
Yeah.
By the way, how am I sounding on your end?
Right now you're sounding pretty good.
Let's hope it keeps up.
Yeah. All right. We are here. We're queer. I am
Get used to it.
I am coming down from a heart attack.
Yeah, let's just take a second to take a deep breath. Also, my camera froze up again, so I'm going to turn off my camera and turn it back on. So, take a sip, breathe a little bit.
I'll have some a nice big thing of coffee to calm down. That's
That's the spirit.
Okay. So, yeah, we good. We good. Um Greetings, good bitches. Welcome to my very first AMA. You know who I am. Below me is Mitchell. He's my co-producer and one of my bestest friends in the whole wide world. And I love him very much, and he just helped me not have a panic attack.
I
Um,
mean, you helped have not you helped me not have a panic attack too. So
all right.
we help each other. That's the deal.
Uh, so,
But I'm
oh, sorry.
just I say just because I'm self-conscious about it. I am broadcasting from bed right now, and that's because I'm currently recovering food poisoning. So this wasn't aesthetic choice or anything. I'm just literally like really kind of wiped out and just sort of don't want to bother like setting up like a full like lighting thing in order for me to, live stream.
No, we're good. Um, we're just gonna have a comfy fucking Saturday. Um, anyway, so
Indeed.
welcome to my very first AMA. Uh, and thank you for helping me reach this absolutely insane milestone. Yes, we are genuinely okay. um, thank you for helping us reach this milestone. This started as a hobby like 4 years ago. That I pitched to him, and I was like, I want you in on this, and he was nice enough to agree. And now we're here, and I'm gonna make a point of saying this in my next video, which should come out next week. But I just really appreciate the fact that I'm able to do my favorite thing for a living because of you guys. Um, like I wouldn't be here if not for you, and I certainly would not be here if not for the constant help and insane talent, insane amount of talent, uh, as you, my dear friend Mitchell, my sweet friend. Um, Mitchell is probably the
Oh,
most
well,
talent.
thank you much.
Mitchell is such a good actor. It kind of scares me. Um, if you've
I mean,
heard,
that's
uh, if if you saw my conservative dating app video, he did the voices of every single dude. Um, he does almost all the voices. I think the only other like male character voice done recently that wasn't him was our friend who did Harvey Firestein's voice. But Mitchell did
I,
Trump, and
I did do Trump. I did do Trump for that bit. Yeah, Harvey Firestein was the Jalen Feniquito, an excellent writer and an
baby,
excellent actor.
you're
Please
cutting out
hire
again,
him.
babe. I can't hear you, babe.
How about I just from Discord? Wait, Francis.
Yeah,
How about I disconnect from Discord and I just be put your phone on? Is that possible?
yeah. How do you want me to get you on my phone, like FaceTime or?
No, I'll just use my voice. You know, there's
Okay.
not much to look at here anyway.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could also like let's try using
Be
just your
joining.
voice. Like try turning your camera off and then
He, I was complaining about the audio though, so that might be. Hey, I'm just technologically impaired here.
well, now I can hear you. Did Mitchell get
Well,
hazard
let's
pay
see.
for that? I do pay him to do my goal for this year is to pay him to help me edit. So
I mean, look, you already like give me like a perfectly acceptable stipend for I mean, look, because I'm as invested in making this work as anybody. Um, Mitchell, were you inspired by Bela Lugosi for one of your voices? Um, I can't really recall one where I was particularly inspired by Bela Lugosi, but I don't know, maybe I'm not remembering one where I did that. I don't know. By the way, how am I sounding now?
you sound good now.
Okay. So I'll just be a disembodied voice
Uh,
for the stream. I'm perfectly cool with that.
well, I'm glad everybody got to see your beautiful face.
Or just a little bit. It's there at the beginning. Yeah.
So when I made this announcement, uh, I made the announcement in my YouTube tab, and then I got a bunch of questions. So, and I promised that I would answer them. So, if it's all right with you guys, I'm gonna answer these and they might be questions that some of you already have, or some of you who commented them might be here. I don't know. But if is that cool with you guys? Let me find it. Oh, completely forgot to mention this. Uh, this this stream is not monetized, so you won't have to worry about ads. And I also connected this to a fundraiser for races, which is immigrant help support immigrant rights and defense and access to attorneys as they face absolutely fucking unprecedented levels of evil right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. All right, I'm a dumb bitch. What's the sunken Gelnica? Gelnica? What is that? Somebody asked.
Sunken Gelnick.
So, Car Dietrich asked, how many hours have you spent grinding in the sunken Gelnika? I'm assuming this is a game thing, and I don't know what that is. Um, so if anybody happens to
Good
know,
question though.
if anybody, yeah, okay, we have no idea. Um, okay, Blackbeard says, if you were forced to use a talking sentient toilet, would you rather use a toilet that really hated when you used it or one that really loved it when you used it? That's really tough because I'm did I see Vivian gave me a shout out on Hassan's stream? No shit. I love her. She's amazing.
Hey.
She is a friend of the channel. And I'm not out of out of all the people, out of all the like famous people who I found out know who I am, for some reason um I nerded out the hardest when I found out that Vivian Wilson knew about me. Like that was the one where I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god." Um the crashed airship in FF7, it was? Wow, it shows how much I know. Fuck. And I've played all 3 FF7 games. Um okay. Anyway,
And
I think
I still can't remember all the names in like, plenty of kind of deep lore, deep intricate lore stuff that I enjoy.
yeah, it's it's fine. I think I would rather use a toilet that really loved it when I used it because I'm big on consent. I think that's my only reasoning for that. Um, are you ever going to do more gaming content? Yes and no. So it's YouTube is very oversaturated with gaming content. Um, and I know Dead Domain had this problem too of like making gaming content that they were really passionate about and then it getting like hardly any views. Um, that was what happened with my Final Fantasy video. I worked my ass off. I was like up till 3 in the morning recording my own footage of like playing FF10 and dying. um, like I worked my ass off on that. And then got hardly anything in return. Um, so I'm not sure. I do have one planned. I think I'm because I've had like a million people asking me if I'm gonna do a Fallout video, and I thought about it, but I didn't really have any takes on it that hadn't really been done already or said already. Um, so I do have an idea for a video that's related to Fallout, um, but it's like real world implications about something that like some people know about it, but some people don't. Um, but I think I'm gonna put it together closer to when Fallout Season 2 comes out, which isn't going to be for a while, unfortunately. They're filming it here in my in my city. I want to crash the set really bad, but I won't do that because that's mean. Um, but it's gonna be like I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to spoil too much, but I am planning on something that's like Fallout related. Okay, that was a long answer. Is this where I get my parking validated? Yes, down the hall and to the left. There is a very nice young man who will do that for you. On an average day, how many pigeons could you reasonably carry? See, that's tough because like pigeons are very light, but they're also like kind of assholes. Um, I really want one though. They're really cute. Is this like a Monty Python kind of question? Five
Well,
ounce
I mean, you know,
bird
you're
can't carry a 1 pound coconut.
so in order to maintain airspeed velocity. Oh, but you're a bird. you're a bird parent, or you've been a bird parent
I've
before.
I've been a bird parent. I wish I could be a bird parent again, but I don't think my partner would be. My partner and I both work from home, and birds are very
Yeah.
loud. They're very cute. They're very I love birds. I am big on birds. Okay. Um Shellick9566 asked, I'm curious because your mug is always flawless. Thank you. How long does it take you to get into drag? About 2 hours. My makeup takes like, and I've got it down to about like an hour and a half. Maybe a little bit longer if you include the time it takes to glue down my eyebrows, because that's a whole thing. But that, and then like getting dressed and like putting my wig on, like all in all about 2 hours. Um, so I explored the Fallout to Transcall pipeline. I have a mug that says Fallout New Vegas transed my gender. How do you go about creating a drag look? What kinds of inspiration do you pull from? So, a lot of times, and I'm sure, and I got this question, I got this question a few times. It's, you might be disappointed. A lot of times, it's it's just based on time and money. Like, what do I have time to put together? Can I afford new wigs or new costume pieces? Um, and sometimes I have so little time that I just use my real hair, which is fine because my real hair is great. Ever since I saw Joey J do it on Drag Race, I was like, that is fucking sick. And then they complained about it because of course they do. It's Drag Race. If you don't do exactly the type of drag that they like, you are not a winner. You are not going to win the drag competition. That's why I stopped watching the show. Um, but sometimes it's related to the video, um, and sometimes I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure. Like if I can't decide on something that's like related to the video, I have to figure something else out and be like, fuck it, I'll do this. You know, like for the dictator fashion videos, like what the fuck, like what do I do? Um, so I asked one of my friends, I'm like, weird question, but what do I wear for a video about this? And they were like, you should just go like full 70s. Like get like one of those cool like corduroy jackets and just go full ass 70s. And I was like, actually 70s look might slap. Um so but or it'll be like a certain
And it
character.
did.
Huh?
I just said, and it did. It did slap.
Thank you. I thought it came out pretty good. Um what like, and then sometimes if I want to do like an actual character, like when I did the Sally Bowles look a little while ago, um I always enjoy finding excuses to dress as Coquelander. If I ever get invited to VidCon, I will definitely be Coquelander. All right, no from Nosebloods. Genuine question. I'm AFAB, which I don't know if that matters. It probably doesn't. It doesn't. And I would like to get into drag. Any suggestions on getting started? I'm new to the community and have also been so very nervous. Um, I start like here's the thing. And more and more people are learning this, but a lot of people still have to learn this, and this is why representation of like drag performers of all genders and biological sexes is very important. Anybody can do it. Anybody. It is drag, because drag is art. It's a it's art. It's a radical form of self-expression. Um, and it's not about the gender that's underneath. It's about the gender or lack thereof that's being presented. Um, so a female drag queen won Drag Race Germany, and she's still told every day that she can't do drag because she's a woman. And it's like you can literally win Drag Race as a woman and still be told that you can't do drag. It's ridiculous. Um but and this goes for anybody who wants to get into it. Just start. like Also it kind of takes a while to develop a makeup style that you like. I mean, I'm still changing mine all the time. I just started doing my eyebrows like this like pretty recently. Like I'm always adapting mine. It's changed a lot over the years. I never really knew how to describe it until my dad described it as black swan on crack. And I'm like, that's really accurate. Like, that's fucking accurate. He nailed it. Um, so, also, there are a lot of really good makeup tutorial, like drag makeup tutorials on YouTube that I, pulled a lot of different information from, and different things work for different people. It's a lot of experimenting, it's a lot of practice, it's a lot of trial and error, uh, and it's something that just kind of has to happen like naturally. I don't know how. I feel like that's such a disappointing answer. I'm so sorry. But uh short answer to uh like if you want to do drag but you're not sure because of your gender, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Um and if anybody tells you that you can't, they're stupid. Their opinion doesn't matter. Um X Blake asked, "What got you into drag, and what is your favorite attire and wig?" I've been a big fan of this one. um, really happy with how this one turned out. Um, a lot of people's favorite was my clown look from the what's it? When I watched the Fox News stand up specials. I think I have to agree because I got the most compliments on that one, and I was like, you know what, that one ate. That one went pretty hard. Um, what got me into drag? So I've always been like kind of exposed to it because I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was like 6. Um, because my grandma lived with me and she loved those kinds of movies, which was weird because she was also very Catholic, but she loved like vampires and shit. So and she also loved Rocky Horror. Um and so I watched it with her and my mom was like, "Great, thanks." And I also grew up watching movies like The Birdcage and To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything. And I started watching Drag Race like when it first started. Back when it still looked like there was like Vaseline smeared all over the cameras. Um, and then I did my senior thesis film in film school was about drag queens. And I cringed super hard thinking about it, but at the same time, it's like, hey man, you were 21. Don't worry about it. You're 21 and you're an idiot. You're an idiot, and you're doing all sorts of cringy shit. Um, and then I don't know. I guess it and it. I so I'd always loved drag, but for some reason it had never occurred to me that like I could do it myself. Um, and then the pandemic hit, and I was really bored. and, um, and I so I would just sometimes I'd like pop an edible and then experiment with makeup. Like I already knew like makeup basics, but I didn't really know how to like block out my eyebrows or overdraw certain things depending on like the proportions of your face. Um, so yeah,
Well,
so
and
I
if I may, real quick,
yes, yes.
because well, yeah, because before getting into doing this channel and everything, I don't even really recall you, or before the pandemic anyway, before you started experimenting with makeup, I don't remember you doing much in the way of wig work before
No,
then.
I never did wig work.
Yeah,
This was
no, that was like a late late to the game skill that you picked up and really like cracked down on.
Yeah, I didn't start doing wig work until I started the channel.
Yeah.
Like, God, my wig and my fucking American Carol video looks so bad, and ugh, ugh. But also, as the great Trixie Mattel once said, if you look at yourself from a year ago and you don't cringe, you haven't improved as a person. And I think about that all the time. I cringe thinking about videos I made last year. Like anytime anytime I make a video about something I like, I'm like, oh, it's cringe. I know it's not true, but that is how I feel. Shady Days says, congratulations on 100K. Thank you. What's your favorite outfit or look you've done for video? Uh, I think the clown look went pretty hard. I I really fucked with the look for my Final Fantasy video. But I was wearing an outfit that I had worn to a convention the year prior. I'm probably gonna wear it again this year because I haven't had time to put together another thing. Also tariffs. Um, because I always try to put together like a Gothic Lolita thing, and there is a Taobao seller that I usually buy from, and they're really good. 42 Lolita, highly recommend. But now all their shit's messed up because of tariffs, and they sent me a bunch of emails being like, "Hey, we're sorry, we're still trying to figure out what's going on." Um, that one, I really liked that one. And I was worried that the Sally Bowles one wasn't going to come out well, but it ended up coming out better than I expected. So that's always fun. And there's also plenty of times where I'm like, this is not it, sis. But I don't have time to put together a different one. Um, what's a character you never want to do drag of? Oh shit. Mitchell, any ideas?
Well, I think there's like the low-hanging fruit, Trump, like Trump drag, I think is
Oh,
kind of lame.
yeah. Well,
Um,
also there was somebody on Drag Race who did a Trump look, but it fucking ate. It ate.
oh,
It
it
was
did?
so good. I'm like, I
Okay.
can never top that.
Well,
Yeah,
okay. Well, there you go. There's that one.
I don't
Um,
want to do drag of any political figure, I think. I said a character. He is a character.
yeah, he is more a cartoon character than he is a real man at this point.
Yeah, he's just a parody of himself. Fucking idiot.
Truly.
Fucking putz.
But characters, I mean, I don't know. Is there like any like character that's sort of oh, would you ever do Jessica Rabbit drag?
Um, yeah. Yeah, I'd be down.
Okay.
I need to get like a breastplate for it. I don't have a breastplate. Um,
Hmm.
and if I do get one, I can't really wear it for videos because not only would you guys be distracted, I would be distracted. So, like
For a
anytime.
little while you said that I know for a little while you said that you wouldn't do wouldn't do drag with black hair, with black wigs, but you've kind of, like dipped your toes into that, one with
Yeah.
the Margaret Hamilton video and the bad wigs Sally Bowles look.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are there like black-haired characters that you wouldn't do drag of just because you don't think their look would
Oh.
maybe like jive well with like with your canvas?
I mean, God, I would love to do a Bayonetta cosplay someday, but I so do not have the body and height to do so. If I was
Maybe
a
you could
tall
get
bitch, I would absolutely do that, but
platform
I'm
shoes
short.
or something.
I'm pretty short. I'm 5'6". Um Also, I don't know. I don't uh can I say this without because this isn't monetized. Without I couldn't serve the amount of CONT if I did a Bayonetta cosplay that I would want, that I would need to, you know, really do my girl
I
justice.
I think that you could serve insane amounts of CUNT in whatever look you wanted to serve. But I
Thank
also
you.
respect you know, your attitude of like, no, that character who I love, I couldn't do justice to, because I get that feeling sometimes too.
You need an ass play? Oh, I have the ass. So nobody knows that because I'm always sitting. Um, Now it's probably my best feature, actually. It wasn't always the case, but Lyra3C asked if you were served a plate of spaghetti but were informed that the cooking of said dish was performed by a toad, would you still eat it? I mean, sure. I mean, if it's good, like, who gives a fuck? I've seen Ratatouille.
Yeah, and that was made by a rat, and rats are like way dirtier than toads, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, he's so cute, and he's voiced by Patton Oswalt. I always forget that he's
And he could
voiced by Patton Oswalt.
and he could kick Stuart Little's ass.
He could. Oh my god, I would pay to. I would pay. I would rather watch that than the fucking Mike Tyson Logan Paul fight. You have to reincarnate as a sea creature. Which one are you choosing? Octopus, 100%. Um,
Why's
Octopus,
that?
because they're one of my favorite animals.
I didn't
I've.
know this.
Oh my god, yeah, I fucking love. I've considered if I ever decide to get tattoos, part of the reason why I'm like going to the gym a lot so I have more real estate for 'em. I've considered getting like an octopus tattoo, like octopus tentacles on like my arm or some shit. I don't know.
Wow.
I
I
have a
can't believe we've never
few.
talked about that.
Which Final Fantasy game
Maybe
is
we have and I just don't
better?
remember.
I just sorry, I wanted I want to answer this question in the chat really quick. Which Final Fantasy game is better, 13 or 15? Um, well, the difference is that I played all of 15 and I didn't play all of 13. I was not a fan of 13. I get why people like it. I mean, it looks amazing, especially for a game that came out like 15 years ago. For a PS3 game, like it looks fantastic. Lightning, one of the coolest protagonists. I don't know why is there only one fucking female Final Fantasy protagonist? But the one that they have is fucking awesome. I hate the combat so much, and I couldn't get past that, and I was like, I don't feel like finishing this anymore. I mean, the combat in 15 isn't great either, but I think it's an overall better game, and you know, it's an open world thing, and there's a lot of shit to do, and you know, anyway, I was like, oh, I'll answer, I'll answer this one. If you make your own wigs, how do you make them, and how long does it take? So I don't like make them, like sew them myself. I will buy a wig, either Don't Kill Me off Amazon. If you want, join my Patreon if you want me to buy wigs that aren't from Amazon. I also have a big trunk of wigs that my friend who I play D&D with on Fridays, uh they used to do drag, and they're like, "Hey, I have a whole like trunk full of wigs if you want." So now I have those to choose from. It depends on the wig. Like, you know, it because like putting curls in them, putting everything in curlers takes like way longer than it should. So it takes anywhere from like a couple of hours if I'm just like zhuzhing it up a little bit, or like just doing something very very basic, or if I'm doing something really wild like my side shave wigs, those take a minute. Same with my mohawk wig, because you have to like cut off like entire pieces of it and then cut off the wefts from the pieces that you cut and then like hot glue them on, and then it's a whole, and then you have to like crimp and tease them, which is an ancient cosplayer trick. And those take a while, but they look cool. They always come out looking pretty cool. Those take a few days. When I first made the mohawk wig, because it was originally a lot bigger, or a lot taller, because I wore it at a convention. Um, that one probably took like a week. That one took a while. If you could swap bodies with any TV or film character for one day, who would you pick and why? Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh. That's
that's a
tough.
good question.
That's tough because all of my favorite characters, I do not envy their lives at all. I guess I have a soft spot for well-written tragic dickheads. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy cosplaying as Homelander. But holy fuck, I do not want to switch lives with that guy. he's he's not doing great. I I would say Anastasia, like from the movie Anastasia from
Oh,
1997.
from the animated
Yeah.
musical.
Yeah. I
That's a
would,
good pick.
yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to turn 18 and find out that they're a Russian princess? Like,
Also amazing
and then
singing
marry a
voice.
hot con man voiced by John Cusack. Like, yeah, I'll he was like my first cartoon crush. I was like 5.
He's a
I
solid
remember
one.
that's the cool thing about being a non-binary kid, but not knowing that you're a non-binary is like I want to be both of them, and I don't know why. Um, if you could put a possum or perhaps raccoon in drag, how would you style them, and what would you name this diva? Oh, you know who would have a great answer to this? Casey,
Which Casey?
sassy grilled cheese,
Oh, of course.
because he's really into
It would be.
raccoons, and I always send him raccoon videos. Um. Oh shit. Should I call him?
I mean, if they're free, that'd be fun.
I mean, I don't. Do we
If
have
it
time?
takes more than like, yeah, we time is of the essence.
Yeah,
But I
I
mean, if
yeah.
it
We have
took
other.
more than like other
All right.
questions to get to,
I
but
gotta think of that one.
should ask him though.
What's one thing you wish more people understood about drag? That anyone can do it. Anyone, literally anyone. Doesn't matter. It also, cause I noticed in the chat somebody mentioned like, if you're really muscular queens are awesome and beautiful. Because also, muscular women are beautiful, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't matter. You could look however you want. You don't have to look a certain way or be a certain gender or sex to do a form of art. Like you wouldn't. It's like, oh, I can't be a painter. I'm too skinny, or I can't be a comedian. I'm too fat. Like, no, that's definitely not true. Like, and if you could be the most muscular, like yoked dude on the planet, you can still do drag. And I've seen a lot of muscular queens. If anything, I think they work it the best in my opinion. Like every time I see a muscular queen, I'm like, that goes hard. Have you heard of the Muppet Joker? Is that like Mexican Joker from South Park? What's the Muppet Joker? Help. All right, moving on from now.
Muppet Joker.
Um, Congrats on 100K. Are you looking forward to the silver button? Just this morning, I opened my YouTube Studio app, and they finally gave me the prompt to like put in your info so you can get your silver play button. Because it takes a little while for them to like
Yay!
review your channel, confirm everything is good to go. You don't have any like strikes or community violations or whatever. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it. What
It
prompted you to
looks like
review Mr.
we're just
Bertram Yowie in the first place? Um, so so last year I was like, you know what? I think I have enough time this month to put out 3 videos for Pride Month. Because I didn't have a lot going on. Because I'd been like self-employed as like a freelance editor since like mid 2023, and work was like really slow at this time. So thank God YouTube finally worked out. But so Mr. Bertram had come out, and then I saw a bunch of yaoi of it on Twitter, and I was laughing my ass off. And I'm just like, this is such a beautiful thing that the Daily Wire made a cartoon, and people are just making yaoi of it. And this is going to be the show's legacy. And I thought that was so funny. And I had never done a ranking video, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this together as like a quick thing, because I was able to put it together in a short amount of time. I'm like, I can put this together. It's just like a fun, dumb thing, and then the thing that I do after that will be like a more like in-depth, like research heavy kind of thing. Um, and then I did that, and then it like blew the fuck up. And then the next day, Mitchell came over to stream with me, and we were like, why is this doing so well?
It's true because it's like the ones that we do all of the intense research and really like try to like hammer and brush up the script as best as we can to like get it into like that good shape and everything. Those are the ones that unfortunately tend to not do as well, whereas the
Yeah.
ones that are just kind of like not throwaway because you care about them still,
Yeah. I
but
work
like
my ass off on
that you're
everyone.
just like yeah, you work your ass off on every single one of them, but the ones that are just more like completely stupid, like just on like the most ridiculous, like weird ass topics, those are the ones that end up like blowing up. Like, who would have thought that Mr. Bertram Yowie had such a wide reach?
For some reason, that the algorithm blessed that. And then this whole past year has just been like trying to go. I'm like, well, where do I go from there? Like, and then unfortunately, I think I peaked in December with the video about Osama bin Laden's hard drive. I think I peaked with Otaku bin Laden. I don't think I'm ever gonna write anything better than that. Um,
Here's what I'll say to
that's
that.
that's the
Here's what I'll
best.
say to that, Francis. Oh, here's what I'll say to that, Francis.
Okay,
Maybe that version of you peaked with the
okay,
Otaku Bin Laden video. That version of you peaked. Now now it's time for a new era, new peaks, new heights to ascend.
yeah,
But that is a very good video.
yeah. That one was really fun. That one was really fun to do. I've kind of so that I've noticed like the ones that do well are like they ride that very fine line between offensive and funny, which is like something I enjoy doing for some reason. I'm absolutely crazy for actually enjoying doing that. Because I never want to like offend people. Like that is never my intention whenever I do any of these. My intention is never to offend people, trigger people, upset people. Um my like this is my favorite thing to do, and when I put it on the internet, it's to entertain you, to make you laugh, and depending on the subject matter, to educate you if you don't already know what I'm talking about. So, if I did something and the overwhelming majority of people didn't like it, that means that I have failed as an entertainer. Not permanently, but I did at that point. Um, But what was the original question? So we were talking about Otaku Bin Laden, how I peaked.
Well, I think
Oh,
it had to do with the Mr. Bertram Yowie video.
that's right. So it's writing that line between funny and offensive, poking fun at something dark without like like grossly capitalizing on or whatever. Um, and then also being like unhinged enough for people to click on it, but also not overly negative so that it like doesn't bum people out or bum me out. Um, like my Josh Sider video bummed me the fuck out. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately it did well, so it was like, work was not for nothing. But uh it did bum me out, especially with like the reveal at the end that I found when I was like gathering all the picture and video for it, and I'm just like, why am I even making a video about this piece of shit? Like, am I just wasting my time? And it happens. And now that this is my full-time job, sometimes I just have shit days at work or shit weeks at work. That was a shit week at work. This thing I'm working on right now, I've had fun, like, making fun of the thing that I'm making fun of, but I also came across something that like bummed me out, and I will be mentioning it in the video. And I'm probably gonna have to provide a content warning for it, because it was like I saw it and I was like, I need a minute. Um, this this is really gross. I hate these people so much, and it's exhausting. But anywho,
Well, you and I did talk about this just before the stream. You were telling
yeah,
me all about that. And I said something about how, like, yeah, we're making fun of it. We're trying to, like, frame it in a way where, like, people can learn about it and, have a go at it and everything. But in doing the research, we still have to touch the stuff. We have to,
yeah.
like, we're kind of exposing ourselves to that radiation, and it can be very sickening.
Yeah, I get rads poisoning every so often. And speaking of which, next question is QCF. I know you like the new Fallout games. How do you feel about the first two? Ever tried them? I haven't played the first two, but I'm planning on it. Because I got a new desktop computer and Fallout 1 and 2 are now Mac compatible. So that was the other thing, was like it wasn't Mac compatible prior, but apparently it is now. So if I do play it, I'll probably be streaming it. So and it'll be my first time doing that. But I definitely plan on playing at least one or two, and I definitely plan on streaming it. I've I've put so many hours into 3-4 New Vegas, and I've been trying to find something to fill the void, to scratch the itch, and like I found stuff that like scratches the itch, but like nothing else hits. So like I've tried so many other first person shooters and nothing else hits the way Fallout does, unfortunately. Like they just the vibes are immaculate, off the charts. Was your natural hair and eye color? Natural eye color is green. My natural hair color, I always forget because I bleach it. Like dark blonde, I guess. Yeah. uh Drag slash queer awakening story. So like I did my drag awakening, which was super boring. Uh my queer awakening story was like, when you find out that there is a word to describe how you're feeling and then your mind just blows wide open. So, uh So I was just in middle school, and my one of my best friends, they're still one of my best friends to this day. We've been best friends for like 25 years. They and Mitchell are like my two best friends in the world. Um, and they were like, I think I'm bi curious. I'm like, what's that? So we're like 12. Uh, and they're like, it's when you're attracted to both guys and girls. And then I'm like, and I stopped for a minute. I'm like, wait, that's what that is? There's a word for that? And then I'm like, no shit. And then I was like, okay. And then it was just, you just kind of figure it out. And then you're like, well, am I this? Because I'm like, well, I'm not attracted to every one of this gender, but I'm also not attracted to every one of this gender. You know what I mean? But uh but yeah, and then I came out to my mom in the park. I was 13, and I came out to my mom in the parking lot of a Ralph's, and I was crying. The worst thing about coming out, and a lot of you guys can attest to this, is that everybody knows before you do. What the fuck is that? What's that about? Like, so when I told my mom, she didn't say it like this. She was obviously a lot nicer, but it was more or less like, yeah, no shit, dude. I'm like, and then I'm like, how did everybody know except me? God damn it. uh, and then, and as for being non-binary, like, I have always known, like, as long as I can possibly remember, from when I was first capable of forming memories. I didn't know that there was a word for that. But and then after I came out as bi and I got into high school, I started like becoming very much more aware of like my gender. And I was like, well, I don't feel this. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go as the I didn't know you could be neither. It was 2009. So it's like, I guess I'll be the other thing. But that doesn't feel right either. Like, I don't know. And then I got to college and I found out what non binary was. And I'm like, oh, fuck, there's a word for that? Yo! So that was cool. But and then once you realize that, like, everything else falls into place and you're like, oh, that's what this was. That's what this was. That's what this was. That's what this was. Like, you know, I feel like a good portion of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. um,
Yeah, it's that thing of like, you know how like there's such a like a nonsense argument from like the anti-trans movement is one of like, oh, all of these trans and non-binary people are just suddenly popping up out of nowhere. It's like, no, they've always been here.
Jesus
Just maybe
Christ.
access to like the language and the names and the way of understanding it maybe, have is only just now starting to become a little bit more widely known.
Yeah, exactly. Same with autism. Like,
Exactly.
so many famous people throughout history were absolutely autistic. 100%. But they weren't diagnosed as that because it was, you know, before
They didn't have the word
1990.
for it.
Like, um, anything you say, yes. Uh, is homosexuality gay? No, not necessarily. Like, I mean, I guess it kind of depends. We don't know for sure. Um,
It's a case by case thing.
um, and then the last question on here is, are you a gay? Yeah, I've been called that a few times.
But would you call yourself that, I think is the thing.
Would I call myself that? Yeah, I mean I'm bi, but I also am like, yes, I am one of the gays. Like, I mean, I know a lot of gay people don't they're still not down with bi people or whatever because they're stupid. There's a lot there's a lot of biphobia and transphobia in the queer community. Holy fucking shit. But not from everybody. That like most people are fine. Kayla says, "Dude, I love you." Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hell
What
yes.
are you girl, what are you doing here? Oh my god. No fucking way. Dude, I put your videos on in the background like when I'm working on wigs and shit. Oh my god. Thank you for being here.
Incredible. Thank you. Thank
Oh my
you.
god. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Now I can look at now I can look at the chat. I'm so sorry that took like an hour to answer cuz I talk a lot. I got in trouble for it a lot as a child. Why is there biphobia in the queer community? Um Dead Domain's here too. Oh my god. Okay, it is a fucking party. It is officially a
Party.
party. Why is there biphobia? Because I think a lot of people are. I mean, I thought we had figured this shit out in the '90s, but no, we have not. Uh, I like they just don't know, and they don't care to know. They don't, or they don't feel like they need to educate themselves, even though they clearly do, because there's still a lot of myths around it. Because the amount of the amount of stereotypes and myths around it, the fact that they're still around is like kind of crazy. Like it's like if you're a guy and you're bi, it's like you're not really bi, you're just gay, but you're not fully out of the closet. And then if you're a woman and you're bi, it's like, oh, you're actually straight, but you're just experimenting. Um, it's like no, sorry, my neighbor's kids are having a big afternoon. Uh, how many subs do you start doing YouTube full time? Um, I can't remember. I can't remember.
It feels it feels like it was sometime in the last like 4 months or so, right? Is that am I lowballing it, highballing it?
Um, so I do still do freelance editing work on the side. Just not like as much as I used to. Like this is like YouTube is like officially my main source of income. And it's been my main source of income since like last fall. Um, since like October, I think. Um,
Hmm.
let's see. How do you handle being misgendered? Um, I kind of just I don't know. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like um cuz usually like it's an accident uh and I don't take offense to it, and if somebody does do it intentionally, I ignore it because they don't matter. Like they're just fucking stupid. Like uh but you know, if it's an accident, like it's like I know what I look like out of drag, you know. Uh, it's but but you know, so if somebody if somebody uses the wrong pronouns, I'm not like gonna get mad, but when they do use my preferred pronouns, I'm like, oh, like every time I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you. Like it feels good, you know. Persona 5 video when? There's so much content. There's so much gaming content on YouTube, unfortunately. Um, have you or Mitchell ever written, edited, or performed VO work for animated media or TV? My dad did. I'm not saying his name, but my dad was a voice actor. Um,
I
oh boy.
I have not as yet done like any kind of like animated work yet for TV or media, but I'm auditioning for all sorts of VO opportunities right now.
I get dead names so much and that helps. Oh, I'm sorry. So um my real name, I never changed my real name because my real name is gender neutral. because my parents were very progressive in the 90s, and they were like, oh, well, if it decides it's the other one, it decides it's the other gender, they won't have to change its name. So it ended up working out really well. But uh, but I'm really sorry that you get dead named. That has to fucking suck. Um, how did I come about finding my fashion sense? I went goth in middle school. Um, and I pretty much dress exactly how I did at 13 as I do now at 30. I just wear less things. I don't wear everything all at once, but I more or less like I got really into that whole aesthetic, um much to the chagrin of my parents. Uh I mean, now they don't care. They watch my channel. They don't give a fuck. Um but
Well, it was your aesthetic that first like drew me to you as a friend because like
aw.
we were both
Oh.
well, it's true. We were both freshmen at, freshmen in college, and I didn't really know anybody yet, and I was looking around, and I was just coming from going to an arts magnet school in my high school years, and so I was looking around, and I see you wearing this like black denim jacket covered in like punk band patches and pins and like
Oh,
all sorts of like
yeah.
cool shit like that, and I was like, oh, this looks like somebody that I would have gone to high school with. I can talk to this person. So,
Aw. And we've been
and
best
you
friends ever
still you
since.
still have the most amazing you still have the most amazing patch and pin game of anyone I know.
I God, you knew me at my worst.
Oh, please,
You
please.
knew me at my absolute worst. Any advice for supporting newly out NBs? My AMAB sibling just came out. Um, if they if they changed their name, use their preferred name, use their preferred pronouns, and just don't treat them any differently than if they had. It's like it's still the same person. I think that's like when people like freak out about somebody deciding it reminds me of like those videos where people will film their kids' reaction to their dad shaving and they start crying. And I hate those videos. I don't like, believe it or not, I don't like making children cry. It's like one of my least favorite things. And it's just like it's the same dude. Like it's the same person that you have always known. They're just being themselves. And they've just made the decision to be who they truly are, but they're still the person that you've known your entire life, or however as long as you've known them. Um, so just be there for them and be respectful. Favorite straight comedian. Ooh. So like like current current comedian. Um Here's the thing. I don't know if he's straight or not. Um, I I can say one of my current favorite comedians in the scene right now, Chris Fleming. He is absolutely brilliant. Highly recommend him. I he I want to meet him so badly because I want to pick his brain. I want to see how his brain functions because like his views and takes on like celebrity culture and like and the way that like social media has affected that. He talks about it in ways that like nobody else has. Like I can't explain it.
I
But
will say there are two outlets I'm looking at saying Chris Fleming, queer comedian behind such and such, or Chris Fleming, is queer comedian, so
oh,
he's some
never
kind
mind.
of queer.
Okay, he's not straight. Oh fuck. Um, um. Why am I blanking on every great comedian that I know of? Because there are a lot of really good ones out there. Um, I know, I know they, I know it's like yes, Chris Fleming is, sorry, not Chris Fleming. Yes, like stand up comedy is, kind of cringy. It's it's not quite the art form that it was like back in the 80s or 90s or whatever. It's evolved, but and I know and with all the shitty comedians, it's easy to think that like, oh, this is just a dead art form, but it's really not. Like, there are so many great working comedians out there. um Jordan
You
Jensen is
mentioned
straight.
Patton Oswalt earlier.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt still fucking absolutely amazing. Jordan Jensen, she's straight. She is really fucking funny. Look up Jordan Jensen if you haven't already. I'm a big fan of hers. And then and I'm a little biased because I know her. And she's not straight. Robin Tran, holy fuck, legend, goat, my goat. She's my personal goat. Do you see the Japanese art of kabuki, which were theatrical plays? Yes. I talked about it in my drag history video. And those were like the OG drag kings, and then a wave of weird conservatism happened, and they decided, oh, women can't be on stage anymore, and so now we have to have men be geishas. And I mean those divas, they served all the time. But it's so weird how kabuki was it was started by a drag king, a female drag king. um
There was a question earlier about whether you'll do a follow up to the drag history video.
I've thought about it. Like, cause after where I cut it off was like Stonewall onward. uh and there's already a lot of content about there's a lot of content about Stonewall, so I wouldn't be adding anything to the conversation. And then I so it would probably, but I mean I'd still have to touch on it, so it'd probably be Stonewall, and then Pride becoming a thing in the 70s, and then the AIDS epidemic, which I like Mitchell and I didn't live during that, so we'll never fully know the extent to how bad it was, but it was so much worse than a lot of people realize. Like, cuz my parents, you know, are from they were living in LA in the 80s. My dad was working in entertainment. Um, they were going to funerals every other week. Like, it was it was really bad. I don't even know anybody who died from COVID. Like, I can't I can't imagine how awful, like how much of an emotional toll it must have taken on the people who like did survive and like saw everything happen, just lose everybody around them. Because I also have a few gay boomer friends and gay Gen X friends who survived it, and I'm just like, thank God you're here, girl. Let's see. Some of my favorite straight comedians are Nikki Glazer, and Taylor Tomlinson. Absolutely love them. Uh, Josh Johnson, I like him too. Who's hotter, Cloud or Tifa? Tifa. T. I know
That's
it's
actually kind of a controversial answer you just gave there.
I so first of all, I like girls more. Uh,
Fair, fair,
um
fair.
second of all, I like Cloud. his arms are like fitness goals for me. Cuz I'm trying to get like twink fit like he is. Um but I would die for Tifa. If Tifa shot me in the head, I would say thank you. Um my first pair of
Very
heels today.
fair.
5-inch platform. Any advice for walking in heels? I am the wrong person to talk to about that. That's me. I'm so bad at walking in heels. It's like the one thing stopping me from like performing in drag. I'm just so I'm so afraid of rolling
Well,
an ankle.
at least like runway performing or like doing anything to like, crazy
Yeah.
stage work performing.
Yeah. Um yeah, see somebody already got how did I get started in drag? Boredom. Well, again, it was just like I'd always loved it. I'd always been interested in it, but it just never really like dawned on me until I don't know. Like I just got bored during the pandemic, so I just started fucking around with makeup. And so somebody earlier asked where my drag name came from. Uh so this was like what year is it? 2025. This was like 10 years ago, I think. I started getting really into vaporwave. Which as you've seen in like my decor and my closing credits and everything is like, a big part of my aesthetic. Um it's a big part of it, a lot of people's aesthetic. I'm not special. Um so uh there's one artist that I got really into named Saint Pepsi, and there was a comment in the comment section that says if there's a Saint Pepsi, we need to make an arch nemesis named Coke Francis, and I'm like, that's a fucking great name. So then like several years go by, and then the pandemic hits, and I start messing around with drag, and I was like, if I had a drag name, what would it be? And I'm like, Coke Francis still goes pretty hard. um and and then I had tried doing a YouTube channel like after I graduated from college, like just as me as myself, and god damn it, it was so cringy, dude. It was so bad. I hated it. I was not being myself. Like I've never been more myself than like when I started doing drag. Um and then I was like, but so many years after that I started doing drag, I'm like, what if I took another shot at YouTube, but I did something completely different? For one, I talked about shit that I wanted to. And two, I would be in drag for it. Uh, and then I pitched it to Mitchell, and he's like, "That's amazing." and and
Well,
then we
because
got, and
I
then
just thought that would be. I just thought that was an amazing outlet, and I really had faith in it, and I'm happy to see the faith rewarded.
yeah,
Um, but on the name Coke Francis, I mean, there is that that joke in there, and how it is kind of like a little bit of a play on, of course, Pope Francis, but it also kind of works as you're a big fan of the film Pee Wee's Big Adventure. And Pee Wee's arch nemesis named Francis.
it's not for sale, Francis.
So there's all sorts of levels on which it works.
Yeah. So, and also, I liked that it was gender neutral. Um, I've also had a lot of people asking me if I'm gonna change my name now that now that he's dead. Now that the Pope is dead. I've also had a lot of people finally figuring out what my name is a play on words of. Let's see. Do drag queens usually get along backstage? I don't know. I don't know. I've only done one lip sync performance in my entire drag career, cuz I'm more of like a YouTuber who does drag. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not. First of all, I think I ruined my chances of getting on Drag Race. um Second, I
Yeah,
don't think I'd want
probably.
to be on it in the first place. Um just cuz I don't I don't like what the show is now, at least in the US. I stopped watching. I think like season 14 was the last one I saw, and I stayed in it just for Willow Pill. Because good God, I love her so much. I also love the fact that there are a few queens with disabilities who won Drag Race. I respect the hell out of that. Because Evie Oddly was also disabled, and she won. I know there's more. Oh god, what else? There's a two-part Paul Rubens documentary coming out. Fuck yeah, dude. Not really a question, but my dad loves you and I watch. Oh my god, thank you so much. So the YouTube Studio app, like every week they'll be like, here's your week in review. And I'll tell you like, you got this many you made this much amount of money. And then it'll have like a little trivia quiz for you, like how many comments did you get this past week, or what percentage of people watch your videos on a TV. And then it'll be like, so and it'll, once you pick one, it'll tell you exactly how many people watched it on a TV, and it'll be like, you got like uh 200,000 views on a TV or whatever. And I'm like, you mean people are watching my videos the way that my partner and I watch like Eddie Burback's videos? And like, that's crazy. Like, we have dinner while we watch those. Like, that's crazy. Do you have a wig that you usually gravitate towards too? Is that the most versatile? Um, Not really. I wouldn't. It's not really one that I gravitate the most towards. I just really liked this one, and it was. Oh my god! Thank you so much for your $20 donation, by the way. Um, I there are some. I don't know. I'm pretty much. I like all of them. Some of them don't come out the way that I really want them to, and I'm just kind of like, okay, well, that happened. um, wow, this whole time I thought you were just tired because you did a bunch of coke all the time. Not all the time. Uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, American spirits, you mean like the cigarettes? The cigarettes that now cost like $20 a pack, allegedly. I don't know. I never smoked American spirits. Adam's Family, The Munsters, Adam's
I rate
Family.
them maybe a 5 out of 10.
Huh?
Well, I was saying if it's the cigarettes, I rate them maybe a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. My partner used to smoke American spirits, and now they're like $18, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'm quitting smoking." Um, oh my god. Pee Wee as himself. Okay, I will keep that in mind. What's your opinion on the film Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Australia as a whole? Well, I mean, I've never been to Australia. I really want to, because God, I love Australians. They've given us so much. What have we given them in return? You know, they gave us Auntie Donna. Like, how do we top that? Thank you for your donation. Somebody else donated earlier, and I didn't get a chance to thank them because I was in the middle of yapping. I love Priscilla. I love Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It's a fucking classic. What music are you into these days? Ooh. Oh, sorry, really quick. Have I played Final Fantasy IX? I am currently playing Final Fantasy IX. And I'm loving it so far. Sorry. What kind of music? I know it's super boring to say. You know what I mean? So I guess those ones. Like my favorite band of all
Okay,
time
it
is the
looks
Dead
like there was a
Kennedys.
little bit of a.
What's up?
Oh, sorry, there was a bit of a screen lag while you were answering that question. So maybe just
Oh.
quickly like list those real quick.
Um. Oh shit. Is it still lagging? Is it okay?
No, I think it's done lagging. I think just it was maybe lagging as right as you were listing the music that you're listening to these days.
Oh. I listen to a lot of EDM. Don't kill me. I listen to a lot of rap. I listen to a lot of old country. I'm a big Marty Robbins fan. Um, I I used to just have like a steady diet of punk, and it was like not good for me. I mean, a steady diet of anything is like not good. Um, I also have a lot of in my on repeat on Spotify. Favorite DK song, Bleed for Me. Let's see. Yeah, so I got like Final Fantasy soundtracks. I got Combi Christ. I got J Core. I've been listening to a lot of industrial lately, which is it's such a pussy thing to do. Thank you so much for your $10 donation. Um my favorite DILF and my favorite MILF. Ooh, ooh, ooh. My favorite like living. Uh,
Let's go with living for now.
do I listen to clipping? Yes. I think Mitchell does too. Um,
I do. They're awesome.
yeah, I love clipping. Uh, I it's favorite MILF. I'm gonna have to think about that. Favorite DILF. Probably voice actor Robbie Damon. Look him up.
Very interesting pick.
And you know what? His wife might be my favorite. Like they're that 40-year-old couple where if they said like, "Hey, we saw you from across the bar. We really dug your vibe." I would do whatever they asked at that point. Like they are a hot couple. Like cuz to me to be a DILF or MILF, you have to actually look like you're a parent. You know what I mean? It's not just like a guy or a woman in their 30s or 40s. Like you have to look like you have children, in my opinion. I don't know. Let's see. Have I played Elder Scrolls or Oblivion? I have not. My partner's playing Oblivion right now. I haven't had time to do shit all week because this week has been stupid. Uh my trans mom was into them too when I was a kid. What a cool question. Um, or not, sorry, not question. What a cool sentence. Um, what are your thoughts on the DMC show soundtrack? I loved it. I mean, I'm not even a Limp Bizkit fan, but perfect song choice for the opening. I actually I'm one of the people who really liked the DMC anime. I know a big part of the fandom didn't, and I'm like, yeah, God forbid we have good writing or anything, or have like larger social implications. Hi, Queen. Recommend a movie to watch tonight after the stream. Um, if you if you haven't seen it, watch Cabaret. It's it hits different in 2025. Hot on Jensen Ackles, different. It's a different kind of hot. Um, also, I never really got the hype around Jensen Ackles until he was Soldier Boy in The Boys. And then it was like that Danny DeVito moment of like, oh my god, I get it. Um, okay, I have to pee really, really bad. I will be back in 30 seconds. All right. Okay, I'm back.
I'm gonna try and see if the camera works. Is it messing up my audio again?
Um, I mean, right now you're good.
Well, let's see if it sticks, and if it gets blocky again, I'll cut myself out again.
Oh, my the stream is starting thing. That's what I put on before my Twitch streams, and that's just like my pause screen. I need to make a. I want to make an Eric Entre like "We'll be right back," like bow 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 bow. Uh,
There
have
was a
you?
question earlier asking if I'm ever going to, come back for the live streams or for the Twitch streams. And I absolutely will. The unfortunate thing is that I've had to sort of relocate up to Portland, Oregon for the time being. I was sort of under earning down in Los Angeles, and I have to sort of work myself back to financial health. So I will be back eventually, but for now it's just boiling away in exile in the Pacific Northwest.
Hang on.
Oh, what's up?
Once. Why is it doing this? 1 second. Why is it saying? Why is it saying new audio device detected? And I can't get rid of it. What the fuck?
You can't click on don't switch.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I saw. Wait, but the cursor's there. You can't.
I know, but I can't get this. Oh, 1 second. It was Discord. I
Oh.
thought it was OBS. It was Discord. And everybody just saw my name. Cool. Awesome.
Yay! You
Thanks,
saw nothing.
Discord. We have some updates for you. We're so cool and relatable. I hope it's okay. Fuck you, Discord. Fuck you, Discord. Fuck you, Discord. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Okay. So anyway,
Back to the questions.
what's your process for coming up with video topics? I don't really know. Just sometimes like I'll come across something and I'll be like this could make for good content. I don't know. I mean, now that I've like kind of found my niche, I like I when I always whenever I see something, I always like try to keep an eye out for something that like could make for good content. So like the woke content detector thing was a thing that I saw on Twitter, and I'm like, God, I want to quit Twitter so badly, but I could find things for great content there. Uh, with the Bin Laden hard drive one video, I was just high and I jokingly pitched it to my group chat with Mitchell and Sassy Grilled Cheese and Fossil Daddy. And then a few months later, I jokingly pitched it again, and then Mitchell was like, "You are doing that."
I mean, I was a little nervous about like maybe how YouTube, with all of its weird censorship, like how they would react to it, but it broke through.
What's your favorite Japanese noise rock band? I mean, define noise rock. I'm really into Guitar Wolf. Uh, I'm not really into noise. I'm not really into noise bands in general. I got like really into J rock and like visual K bands when I was in middle school, and then I never really grew out of that. Um,
Oh,
any
real quick, Video Gaga with Nico Swan has been asking this one.
Oh,
Have you seen or do you have thoughts on I Saw the TV Glow?
I have not seen it. I'm so
I thought
sorry.
so because I knew that no, I knew that if you had seen it, you and I definitely would have chatted about it. Watch it soon so we can talk about it at least.
Yeah, I really
'Cause
want
I
to.
love that movie.
I am
It's really
woefully
good.
uh not up to date with films currently. Like there's so many movies I still need to see. Um Favorite Nicolas Cage movie? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. If you have not seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, holy shit, change that. Pedro Pascal's in it. Um
It is really good. I love Mandy.
any suggestions for long videos going on a road trip? Uh Dead Domain just put together a 2-hour investigation into Brianna Wu, and it is fantastic. And it was the perfect thing to have on when I was getting into drag to film a video the other day. Um, it's it's super in depth. It's super well done. It's super respectful, even though this woman really does not deserve an ounce of respect. Um, but Dead to Main's just that fucking cool. Um, 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 Favorite is that like smut like a smutty book? Is that I'm not really a smut guy. Sometimes I
You're
sometimes
you
I'll
support it, but you're
I'll sit. Sometimes I'll there are a few Tumblr pages I follow, but I'm not really an avid reader. My favorite indie game. What counts as an indie game? Because there are a lot of
not
games that's
produced by
like
one
they're
of the
classified as
major
indie, but they're kind of not really. Like they went so deep on their
games that
Dead
aren't
Domain
made
8
by
with that
like the
vid. Yeah, they fucking
major
did.
developers or something.
Um. Wow, thank you for $50 to races. Holy shit.
Heck yes.
Uh,
Thank you so much for that.
how you love John Waters? Have you ever had the chance to see one of his Q&As or I did. Oh my god. Okay. I have a great John Waters
Love
story.
this story. I love this.
Okay. Um how do you feel about the post considering whatever. That bitch is dead. It's my turn. Uh so this was I think in 2017, and he was doing a book signing because he had just put out a book called Make Trouble, which was based on his commencement speech that he did at a college, which was amazing. Made me cry the first time I heard it. It was like exactly what I needed to hear at the time. $100 to race. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Um, so he was doing a signing of this book, and it was on my friend's birthday. So for their birthday, I was like, I'll buy you a copy of this book, and then we can go to this signing for free in West Hollywood. So we went, and we were in that line for like 2.5 hours, and we just made it in. Like there were a few people behind us, and then it got like cut off. Um, so we barely made it in. And then as we got closer and closer to him, we realized why it was taking so long to go through to get there, and that's because he was taking the time to talk to every single person in that line. Um and he didn't have to do that. He could have just been like, "Thank you, next." But no, he took the time to talk to every single person. So it's finally our turn. I'm punked out. My friend is gothed out. They have like a lot of tattoos and piercings and shit. So we go up to him. I'm like shaking. And he goes, oh, do you guys get compliments when you dress like that? Do you get stares? And my friend's like, a little bit of both. And he goes, I saw a lot of people like you on the set of Pink Flamingos. And I'm like, what is happening? And at the time I was directing my senior thesis, which was about drag queens. Uh, we even had the production department put up a poster of him, that picture, that black and white picture of him strangling a flamingo. They like made a print of that and put it up as like part of the like production design. Like we were all into that. So he was like one of my biggest inspirations for doing that. And so I actually had the opportunity to tell him, like, your work really means a lot. Like, I got like I think I first started watching your movies when I was in middle school, and your movies and your philosophy on life has like gotten me through a lot of really really hard times, and you and your work just mean a lot to me. And he was so nice, and he's just like, oh, thank you. And then we took pictures, and then we left, and I cried. But he was a really really nice guy. Anonymous donated
I'm so
$50 for
glad
races.
that
Thank
you
you
got
so
needed.
much. If I already said thank you, I haven't been keeping up. But thank you to
Um,
everybody who donated.
the person who donated $100 has a question.
Yes.
Favorite media inappropriate for the cisheads.
Um, Inappropriate for the census.
Like the kind where it's like you're watching it with a cishead, and then something happens, and you have to go like, oh, and then you cover their eyes. Like,
Ah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Every cis that I've watched movies with is super chill. Like
that's good. You don't surround
my,
yourself with.
my partner is cishet. I can show him pretty much whatever. He's not really into horror movies unless they're like horror comedies. He just doesn't like being scared. Oh my god, I gotta think about that. But I want to answer your question soon because you just made a huge donation. Um, I think there are certain movies that like just could not be made by straight people. And most John Waters movies are examples of that. Like Female Trouble is a gay product. And I'm not saying that like straight people can't do camp or whatever, but I'm saying like that movie, that is a gay product that was made by gay people for gay people. Anybody can enjoy it, of course, but like that is a gay product. Um, so I'm not sure. I gotta think about that. My least favorite STD. See, I've never had any, so I don't really have any to like compare them to. I mean, HIV seems like the most harmful one though. So I mean, it's easier to live with it now than it used to be, but it's still awful. It still sucks to have. Would I ever do a review of Pink Flamingos? It's been done. I don't have anything special to add to the conversation. I have a Filth is Eternal shirt with him on it. I love that.
Well, and you did do a video on female trouble and on
Yeah,
the distinction between the your favorite John Waters movie and the best John Waters movie.
yeah. Watching Pink Flamingos made me think I was straight. Oh my god! I remember my friend and I watching that when we were in middle school, because that was so much happened for me in middle school. I'm basically the same person because that also like started my love for like horror movies, and also just like trying to find the most like outrageous, messed up, insane movies possible. And then when I was in high school, I was in the bisexual art kids clique, and we would just try and find the most fucked up movies possible to show each other, and we just always kept trying to like one up each other. Sometimes it got wild.
I had exactly the same kind of like friendship circle and the same kind of game we would do with like fucked up art house movies trying to top one another. I think I totally like, creamed everybody with Antichrist.
Okay, that's something. Okay, that's a movie you would cover anybody's eyes.
There are worse though. There are far more extreme and
There.
actually far more devious films than Antichrist.
Oh yeah, I do remember like there were certain parts of Antichrist where I was like I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't ready for. I feel like the sets wouldn't do well with Paris is Burning. I respectfully disagree. I think Paris is Burning actually did a lot for like educating the general public more on like the ball scene because it was like mainstream distribution as far as I know. Um and for a lot, and this was also pre Drag Race, so for a lot of people that was like their first exposure to it or even knowing about it, so um I think like some of them like won't understand it fully, um or they won't like relate to it, but I don't know about like not jiving, cuz like I don't know, I think it definitely did more good than harm. Favorite X-Man Storm. uh have I played System Shock? No. I am playing BioShock though right now. I'm loving it so far. Would I do a video on the birdcage? Ooh, Mitchell.
Be fun.
Should we do a video on the
Because there's been
birdcage?
so many like iterations of the story, and we could compare and contrast and
Yeah.
explain why the Robin Williams Nathan Lane one is the best.
Uh, God, that is one of my favorite movies, probably in my top five. What was my gay awakening? Um, Halle Berry and uh, Halle Berry and Johnny Depp and Michelle Pfeiffer were like my first crushes, I think. I mean, they still are. Well, not Johnny Depp so much anymore. Sometimes like I'll see like old pictures of him show up in like my explore page or whatever, or on like the black and white celebrity Instagrams that I follow, because I got really into Hollywood lore. Um, so sometimes they'll like post like old pictures of him, and I'm like, okay, like I can see why I was into that. Like he fucking sucks as a person, obviously, but I'm like, okay, I can see why I wanted to hit that. Um, I guess in the conservative circles I grew up at. Oh, in conservative circles, yes. I I admittedly have kind of a limited worldview. Um, because I have lived in California, in Southern California, my entire life, and I grew up with a very chill family. I come from an enormous amount of privilege in that respect. Uh, so I don't know why. My apologies. I don't know why I didn't like even make the connection. Like, I feel so dumb. Um, my favorite golden age of Hollywood movie. Oh fuck. Oh god.
Something with
I'm gonna
Brando
have
in
to
it,
get back to
maybe.
you on that one.
Wizard of Oz, perhaps?
Huh?
I said Wizard of Oz, perhaps?
I mean, banger. Huge, major banger. Um, because most of my favorite movies are like from the 70s, actually. Um,
That's very true.
Early 70s is the best era of cinema, and you cannot change my mind. Thoughts on Greg Araki? I don't know who that is. Please don't kill me. um,
Oh,
do I
you
accept
have
fan art?
lost your
Hell yeah, I accept fan art. Anywhere you want.
you have lost your film fan credentials for having never heard of never heard of Greg Araki.
I bet I have. Wait, who is Greg Araki though, please?
Greg Araki did the Doom Generation. That's the main one I
Oh,
know him from. But and he also did Nowhere, if you know that one from '97, totally effed up.
I
The
don't think I
Living
saw Nowhere.
End. Did he direct? Yes, he did. He directed Smiley Face, the one with
Oh,
Anna Faris.
oh. In that case,
Although that's
goated.
that one's that one's a little bit of an outlier because I
Yeah.
mean, yes, there's the stoner element to it, but it's kind of more of his like, see, I can do a somewhat gentler kind of mainstream comedy kind of deal with Smiley Face. His other ones are a lot more radical.
Also, uh, the world wasn't ready for Smiley Face. That's such an underrated movie. I love that movie so
It's a
much.
fun one.
Amanda Collins, thank you so much for your donation. Um, oh god, I'm losing track. Would you consider getting a Discord? I do have one, but it's for Patreon members only. I imagine you understand why. Um, Mitchell knows his film stuff. He fucking does. He does.
I'm I'm terribly sorry. I can be kind of obnoxious with
No,
it.
no, you. It's we both went to film school, dude. It's fine.
Yeah,
We
very
both
true.
went to the
I'm
same. Can you recommend some early 70s movies? Well, three early 70s movies are in like my top movies of all time, which is Clockwork Orange, um, Pink Flamingos, and Female Trouble, both early 70s, and Cabaret. Those are like three of my favorite movies ever, and they all came out in the early 70s. Thoughts on
content
Edgar
warning
Wright?
for all of them, of course.
Huh?
I was just saying content warnings for all of them, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it's Cabaret is weird because it's like there's nothing like super graphic or like super sexual or anything. There is a scene halfway through the movie that like chills me to my core every time. Is probably one of the creepiest scenes in cinema history when everybody starts singing Tomorrow Belongs to Me.
Terrifying.
Yeah, like and I rewatched that scene recently. That movie's also why like one of the reasons why I decided to become an editor. Um, God,
Mm.
that movie rips. That Cabaret fucking rips, dude. The Holy Mountain. That's Mitchell.
Oh, I
Your Christmas Queen. Thank
Alejandro
you for the $50
Jodorowsky,
donation.
one of my big problematic faves. Yeah, I mean, Holy Mountain, El Topo. I mean, that work is just monumental and mind bending and super unethical. Like the production going into both of those films was totally like not okay, but can't deny the imagery is really really impactful.
Yeah, it's super good. Favorite David Lynch film?
Ooh.
Probably Blue Velvet.
That's Eraserhead is my favorite, but Blue Velvet
Yeah.
comes second. Yeah.
Eraserhead is amazing.
And and yeah, and the other thing is like I don't want to make it sound like, oh, it was all downhill after his first film. No, not at
No.
all. I mean, like Eraserhead's my favorite because it's like the one that I first saw and it like really like has kind of embedded itself in me. But
Yeah.
Blue Velvet is probably like the I don't know, like was sort of like a bit of a pinnacle for him. Although of course Mulholland Drive is just like you know monumental as well.
Oh, I
It's
love Mulholland
sorry,
Drive
they were
so
asking
much.
you.
I saw a drag lip sync of Jorando at Midsummer
Mm.
Scream last year. It was so good because it was like a whole because it was also like a special effects kind of thing, like a like how do I how do I put this? It was it was like kind of like body it was like kind of a body horror um thing because it was two people. But it was really beautiful the way that they put it together. And then that song is so haunting, and I'm like, this is cinema. This is cinema. Um, is Coke sponsored by the Holy Roman Empire or something? Well, I will say I did see Megalopolis recently. So I have $500 to raise this girl. My God. Thank you so
Jiminy
much.
Christmas. Thank you, Jara
Damn.
Haynes.
You're
Holy,
amazing. I
holy
I feel
moly.
like I should send you a
Um,
present or something. Like message me.
in, in,
Message me, I'll Venmo you.
Incroyable.
Um who inspired you to do drag? A, a lot. Like my first exposure to it was Rocky Horror Picture Show. Um but I was really young. I didn't understand. I didn't really know what the fuck was going on. I still don't. It's a very strange movie. Iconic, amazing, one of the greatest of all time, but it was a very weird movie. Um as far as like current queens I take a lot of inspiration from, like obviously Divine. I take a lot of inspiration from Pearl. Pearl Liaison, more than people realize. Willow Pill also, because we have a very similar sense of humor, and I felt like that she was the main reason I kept watching Drag Race season 14. Was I'm like I feel like we're sisters. You know. Um, who else? I a lot of times it's like non-drag characters who I take inspiration from. Like that's kind of uh that's kind of why I like cosplaying as Homelander, because like it's drag. Like what he is wearing, I mean, it's definitely warm enough. That costume is warm enough to be drag. I'll say that. I'm like, no wonder he's in a bad mood all the time. The thing is warm as hell. Um, like, uh, I I take a lot of inspiration from, and the other thing is like I always want to do like weirder and more interesting shit with my drag, but I'm usually constrained by like either time or money. Um, or I don't want it to be like too distracting. Because I already get people saying that my look is distracting when they're trying to hear what I have to say. Um, but I I like taking I take a lot of inspiration from from Final Fantasy. I know, big shocker, but like I love how every game kind of nails that mix, especially like the more contemporary ones like 15. Say what you want about 15, but they really nail that like mix of old and new, uh to where it's both like anachronistic and futuristic, but it works, and that's something I've always loved about all of them. Like they all do that really really well. Um would you become the
Oh,
actual
real
next
quick.
pope if you could? Absolutely not.
Well, speaking of the Pope and speaking of, Italy and all that, Ronald Bernstein has been asking, would you consider the Holy
Oh,
Roman Empire or the Byzantine Empire as the true successor of Rome?
I am the wrong person to ask about. I know somebody who I could ask about this, but I know that he's like busy today. But I literally know somebody who I could call up right now if I knew he
Are they like
wasn't
a
in the middle of
historian or
something.
something? Or
Huh?
are they like a historian or just a big buff on the Byzantine Empire or something?
Well, he's a history major and he's currently studying ancient Rome.
Oh, well, there you
Uh,
go.
and he had like a whole Ides of March feast at his house because he just got a new place with his spouse.
That's really
Um,
cool.
I love the first half of 15. I I'd give 15 a solid 7 out of 10. Um, Final Fantasy 13. I'm not a fan of 13. I I want to be, uh, but I don't know. Are you someone who can separate the art from the artist? It depends. Um, Like, I one of my favorite albums of all time, like in my top 10 albums of all time, is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye. It was one of my favorite albums of all time. I haven't listened to it in many years because I just can't at this point. I can't do it. It it just kind of oh, thank you for being here. Everybody has been here. Everybody who's here. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes,
This
thank
is
all of
great.
you.
This is great. This is fun. Um,
Oh,
it kind of it kind of depends. It's definitely not a black or white thing. Because the other thing is, uh, artists don't become artists to be good people. You know what I mean? Like, if they are good people, great. Um, makes it feels even better enjoying their work, knowing that they're also a good person. But you have to also remember that they didn't become artists to be like philanthropists or be good people. Like, a lot of talent, there are a lot of really talented artists who are shitty people. Um, but depending on who it is, it does affect my enjoyment. So, I haven't listened to Kanye in years. Which is a shame because Mitchell and I were both big fans of his at one point. But I just saw clips from the podcast he did with Candace Owens, and I'm like, we are in the worst timeline. Like, we are legitimately in the worst timeline. Um,
oh, real quick, did you catch that one from our big benefactor Jara Haynes about Pearl season 7 Drag Race?
oh no, I have not.
It was donation extra. Huge Pearl season 7 Drag Race fan. I stan. What do you like about her drag?
Um, well, I love her makeup. Like, a lot of uh how I do my makeup, I learned from her. And like watching her videos. She did a really good video on what not to do, and that was probably the single most helpful video I've ever seen on, on how to do drag. But I think I just identify with her in that you can, like, constantly being told, like, oh, are you even awake, like, why are you so monotone, why are you so chill, like, like, and I used to get that a lot growing up, and I never really understood why. I'm like, I don't know, that's just how I am, man. And they're like, well, you're a drag queen, you need to be, like, bigger or whatever. And it's like, no, you can be whatever the fuck you want. Like, don't change somebody's personality. The other thing is, like, you can have a big personality without being, like, big and boisterous and, like, over the top. Like, it's about vibes. So I don't know. I really identified with that. And I just really like her drag. I just I just I don't know. I just vibe with it. Um do I play FF14? I started to, and I didn't really get into. I'm not really an MMO guy. Do I know who Vincent Gallo is? I sure do. uh check out check out one of my apparently the Daily Wire makes movies now videos. Do I play tabletop RPGs? I do. I'm currently playing D&D with my friend who knows about the Roman Empire, and his spouse who gave me that big box of wigs. So, and we're in a loser band, and my character's name is I'm a I'm a I'm a drow bard, charlatan who cannot resist swindling the powerful, and my name is Felony Marie Smith. which is also my name of one of my Fallout characters. Um, Honestly, I'm not missing much from Kanye. His uh, Life of Pablo was the last banger album he put out. Everything after that, ass. And I think Mitchell can agree.
Yeah, honestly, Donda, I thought
Bad.
was kind of overrated.
Bad. It
Yeah.
was bad. Hello, Queen Francis. I'm going to sleep now. Have a good day, Queen. Have an excellent day, rest of your night. I don't know, wherever you are in the world. It's 4 o'clock here, almost 4:20. 4:20, praise it. Um, I also just remembered our extremely generous donor asked me who my favorite Final Fantasy character is. That is tough. uh, Probably. So you guys are gonna get so mad at me, especially the FF13 fans in the chat. You're probably gonna get really mad at me for this, or you'll think it's based. Um, I've played a lot of Final Fantasies. 16 was the only one to like change my life. Um, I don't know why it had the effect on me that it did. Um, but it just did. And my favorite character used at first I thought my favorite character was Sidolphus. We call him Sidilphus in this household. But I think my favorite character as far as like an arc in that game is Dion's, cuz he's kind of like the what if scenario, like if Clive didn't end up the way that he did and he had stayed, like he had kept his nobility. And he has the I think he has the best arc. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. Also, I love the fact that like they made the one openly gay character like actually a strong character. Um do you change your voice from drag? Nope, this is how I sound all the time. This is the most authentic I've ever been on camera. So, what's the worst movie they made you guys watch at film school?
um,
I
I
don't
haven't watched
know.
it since. Well, I haven't watched it since, so maybe my opinion on it will have changed, with fresh perspective. But I remember hating Jules and Jim when we saw it in film school. I
I don't even
just
remember
found it
that.
so irritating and just so thoroughly unlikable. Some interesting stylistic stuff here and there, but just Jules and Jim was not my cup of tea when we watched it. But I feel lucky because like even though our alma mater very notoriously had a Birth of a Nation poster as part of its like
I forgot
memorabilia
about
that they
that.
had in like their yeah, the film school had all of this like memorabilia from like some collection, and on the wall in our film school was a poster for D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. Now
God
luckily
damn
the
it.
school didn't make us watch Birth of a Nation as other film schools tend to do, but
Right.
yeah,
Thank God.
if they had made us watch Birth of a Nation, that would easily take the cake for the worst one.
Oh yeah. Fave persona character. Um Happy 420. So first at first it was Akechi was my favorite. But I think Maruki actually might be my favorite character from 5. My favorite character in 4 is probably Kanji, and my favorite character in 3 is Junpei, without a doubt. Um, Reference Persona a lot. Sorry, this is already one of my favorite Persona game. Persona 5 Royal, my favorite game of all time, always will be. Uh, First game to like fundamentally change my life. First game to like make me want to be a better person. Um, like it. I don't. I can't explain it. I don't know why. It helped me overcome my social anxiety. Um, and it was because it was just a reminder of like, hey, you need friends, asshole. Like, uh, you can ask people for help. It's okay. something I'm very bad at to this day. But you know, Simon De Leonardis, thank you so much for your $50 donation. I'm so sorry, I'm just now seeing it. Do I do live drag performances? Nah. Um, Sometimes
I
I'll
think you
like
could though.
fantasize about it, not like sexually or anything, but like I'll think about it. There's some
No,
songs I'm
no,
like that
no
would be like such a
pressure, and
fierce lip sync, but
no pressure, and I'm not like, putting you on the spot or anything, but I really do think that, you could do live drag performances. I think you've got it. You've got this easy charisma about you that I think could really sell. But if
thanks,
and when you want to.
thanks. Uh, Most hetero habit. Ooh, being attracted to the opposite sex and resenting myself for it every time. So I'm not used to
I
it.
know it's I know it's your Q&A, and I don't want to like, bogart anything at all, but I just have to address um butt bags question just above there. Have you seen The Boyfriend 1971? It has Twiggy. It's a disaster.
I have
No, it
not.
is not. That is one of my favorite Ken Russell movies ever, and I will show it to you, Francis, eventually. It's a
Yay.
great film.
Okay, yeah, I see. I
All right,
trust your opinion.
please proceed. It's your Q&A.
In your opinion, who is the most powerful drag queen? Not influential or successful. I mean, who is the most capable of destruction? George Santos, obviously. Diva down. Thank you for your service, queen.
I am so looking forward to when somebody makes some kind of subversive dark comedy biopic about George Santos.
I so like so here's the thing. Like, did he deserve to go to prison? Yes, 100%. I hate him. He fucking sucks. But also, I can think of 30 people off the top of my head who should have gone to prison before him. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Free my boy. Do you have any advice for people wanting to get into drag? Start. Uh, just I mean that's not good advice. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry if any, because if you're not a cisgender male, you will probably be told at some point that you can't do drag, which is not true because it's art. And art is forever. Drag is art, and art is for everybody. Just started my YouTube channel last month. Any advice to aspiring creators? Um, don't do it for money. Do it because you enjoy it. Uh, because it took me 3 years before I started making any money uh on off of my channel. And it was just kind of like, oh, the algorithm blessed me one day. For some people it doesn't take as long. For other people it takes even longer. Um, but the partnered YouTube subreddit is actual hell. It's a nightmare. And there's so many people who are like, uh I got demonetized or I got claimed for something and I don't understand why. And I'm like, yeah, because you're making AI videos, you're making AI slop so that because it's like a get rich quick, like people are treating it like a get rich quick thing, which is just not the case. At the end of the day, it's people watching YouTube videos, not AI. People know what AI looks like and the forms that it comes in. Like just make an effort. Sorry, I'm not saying that to you. I mean, in gen. So the people who like aren't making an effort and they're like, I'm working really hard. Like, no, you're not. You're using AI. Fuck you. Um, but just as long as you do it because you enjoy it and not just because you're like trying to like get rich off of it fast. But you should absolutely do it, and I'm proud of you for starting because it takes a lot of balls to start. Um, Mitchell's the best hype man. Where do I get one like him? Not film school. Uh, Mitchell's the best. My goat. What got you into Pee Wee? My dad. I grew up watching Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and Pee Wee's Playhouse taught me how to deal with bullies. I think it taught a lot of gay Jewish kids how to deal with bullies. Um, James Sunderland or Leon Kennedy, like Resident Evil Leon Kennedy.
Oh,
That. Um, George Santos is my guilty pleasure. Yeah, he grows on you. Have I ever watched The Birdcage? Birdcage is one of my favorite movies of all time. And if any of you have not,
that's well.
you're cutting out, babe.
First of all,
You're cutting out, baby boy.
kind of say,
Oh no.
and
You're cutting out, my sweet baby boy. Oh no. Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli. Liza. I mean that's hard. I don't know. I doesn't feel fair. Um I think Mitchell will be back in a minute. If anyway, if you haven't seen, yes, you should order a cheeseburger right now. If you guys haven't seen The Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane and Gene Hackman, may he rest in peace. Uh Change that now. It is, first of all, for it coming out in the mid 90s is kind of crazy. Um Insanely progressive for mid 90s. Um the physical comedy of Nathan Lane in this film is unmatched. Like it's it's just some of the funniest shit ever. Nathan Lane is a fucking god. Um you had your first kiss while watching Pee-wee's Playhouse. I I I kind of I mean, this is a very long time ago. I kind of sort of hooked up with an ex when we were watching Pee-wee's Big Holiday. um Kill Fuck Mary Alvin and the Chipmunks. Kill Theodore, fuck Alvin, marry Simon. No, Mitchell. No, it's okay. Apparently my connection's like not great. Okay, now we're better. Weird. Okay. Cherry. And don't give I think that gave JD Vance a little too many ideas. Your KFM answer is the same. Yeah, fuck Theodore. All my homies hate Theodore. Um Least favorite movie genre? I so I I have a condition, I think, like a mental condition where I can't remember anything about like 95% of action movies that I watch. Like like my partner's been watching Reacher, and I'm like, that might be the most straight guy thing I've ever seen you do in like 11 years of us being together. Like uh so but I mean, you know, we have stuff that we share, and then we also have stuff that, you know, the other isn't into. Like I tried getting him into Orion High School Host Club. He didn't like it. It's his loss. Uh
Hey, I've just reconnected using my phone. Am I coming in better now?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, this is probably, you know what? Just admit the thing that I'm embarrassed of. I have a Chromebook.
So,
My MacBook Pro had a hardware failure last year, and it was more money to fix it than it would be for just replacing it. So I did away with that, and I got myself a Chromebook, which is literally a book for children, or a computer for children in elementary school. And so I don't know if it's because of that or whatever, but that's just why I've been having the technical screw ups. But I'm on here now, so that's that.
Sweet. Alright, just looking something up. Let's see. There you are.
Hey.
Hi.
Hopefully my phone doesn't freak out or mess things up. So yeah. Yes, the evil eye. It is the inferior electronic.
uh, Opinion on Tuong Fu. I love it. It's kind of a like it's kind of a dumb movie. The dumbest part is the fact that and I know part of the reason they're in drag all the time is because they're like keeping the fact that they're not women a secret at that point in the film. But before that, like when they're driving and they're in drag, like that would never happen. like
No.
like like drag performers want to be in drag as little as humanly possible. That's why I put this wig on like right before we started filming.
Trixie Mattel says that like her favorite part of drag is getting out of drag.
Oh, that is the best part. Is taking all this shit off. Oh, it's so satisfying. Taking off your wig. Taking off your wig is the greatest feeling. The slow mode is very slow. See, it's fast for me. I can't believe that this is slow mode. Mitchell's looking, hell yeah. Mitchell always looks good.
Oh,
He's a handsome
that's very
lad.
kind to say. Thank you.
Let's see. After last season, please be more specific. Driving a drag is crazy. Yeah. So the other thing is, so I'm not wearing my lashes right now because I need these glasses to see. If you follow me on Twitch, you'll see me wear glasses and no lashes because they don't fit behind the lashes. So every time I have to drive without my glasses, which is like, all right, see how this goes. What's my favorite Ed Wood film? Well, the name of my lipstick is called Plan 9.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, that's a classic.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that one night when I think it was that night where we both like back when I drank when we had like that whole like bottle of absinthe and we were watching Plan 9 and
I have the video.
We were imagining just sort of like God riding around in those saucers as they're just like like dangling from strings. It must be so like nauseating. Like the drivers just must be like.
I have the video.
Oh shit.
So Mitchell provided sound effects.
Oh, I can't hear it. I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's right up to the mic. Aw. Well, I still have it.
Share it on your story, then people will know what we're talking about. But you've seen Glenn or Glenda, right?
Yeah. I think that might be my favorite. It's wholesome. It's a wholesome movie.
Yeah. It really is.
The public response to Christine Jorgensen was surprisingly wholesome. Granted, she was still like, passing. She was still, conforming to like white feminine standards at the time, so that made it more palatable for people, I think, because they're like, well, look at that, that's a woman right there, like. So I think that was part of it, but uh it was a surprisingly wholesome reaction given the time. Um what's oh my god, I've lost track of. Oh my god, thank you so much, Moniz B. Mo. What toppings do I put on my nachos? Soy rizo, cheese, jalapenos, sour cream, pico de gallo. That's oh my god. Best trans movies of all time. Hedwig and the Angry Inch is pretty fire. Tangerine? That was a pretty good one. There aren't nearly enough. Chat heard it.
Jack could hear me.
Pterodox, thank you so much
Chat,
for your donation.
Chat could hear the Plan 9 saucer noises. I guess it was just a problem on my end.
I'm so glad you guys can hear it. Well, that same night I showed him Beetlejuice for the first time.
That too. That was awesome.
What's a video you really want to make but you know no one would watch it? So unfortunately, a lot of this, like the stuff that I enjoy making the most, sometimes, or when I'm talking about stuff that I actually like, it doesn't perform well. Like to me, the funniest video I've made to date was my drag queen storytime video, but it was mostly because I had the commentary from Mitchell and Fossil Daddy and Sassy Grilled Cheese. That's the only video where, like, when I was editing it, I had to very often, like, pause in the middle because I was laughing too hard to get through it. And it did really badly, and I have so many people who are like, that's the only video of yours I haven't watched. I'm like, it's not gonna bite, calm down. I'm like, jeez. It is like actually one of the funniest. It is my funniest video in my opinion. Like I quote it in the shower. I don't think Sassy Grilled Cheese knows how much I quote him on a daily basis. I don't want to think about Tucker Carlson's genitalia ever again. I think I'd rather do my taxes. Like, what if I'm trying to eat my pancakes? I don't want to see that. Is the ocean a soup? Wait, that's a good question. Is the ocean a soup? No, because you don't eat. No, because like nobody eats it, right?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Well, fish eat it, I imagine.
I thought they just live in it.
It's true. It's like how we don't eat the air that we're walking around in. We wouldn't say that we eat air.
Is Fast and Furious 2 a queer film? I've never seen I've only seen the first Fast and Furious. So, how long does it take me to get my looks ready for your videos? It depends. It depends on the look. I'm not proud of how much of my drag I get from Amazon. I don't want to get most of my drag from Amazon, but sometimes it's like I'm trying to do this and I'll need like some accessories or something. Like I try to work with what I already have just to like save money. But it's the most quick and reliable way to like get what I need. Unfortunately, I don't like the fact that this wig came from Amazon and like most of them did. So, you know, but I've had like some wigs I can like finish in a day because I'm just like zhuzhing them up a little bit, and then I've had other ones that take like a week. um I've watched the storytime video embarrassing number of times. Thank you. uh My other favorite part is how hard you laugh when I said the bullet missed me, not as much as I missed you. And you had the most hearty laugh.
It's a brilliant line.
And every time when I was at it, like every time I heard your laugh after that, it added like 3 years to my lifespan. It was so genuine.
Whoever wrote that was inspired. I mean, that's like the most like romantic, you know,
divinely inspired.
It's such a good line. I also still laugh at the weird phrasing of he was in there eating a coffee. Very underrated video. Shout out to Sassy Grilled Cheese and to Fossil Daddy. They're both amazing.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out either of their channels, I highly recommend you do so. Also, Fossil Daddy like puts so much. I'm in a lot of his videos lately. He puts so much time and effort into these, and he does not get anywhere close to the amount of views that he should be getting. So definitely watch his stuff because he animates everything. Like, dude, I feel so lazy. Like I'm usually in my boxers when I'm filming. Like,
you just got done talking about how you'll spend a week working on a look, and you just call yourself lazy? No.
Some wigs take a while. What's a tier list you'd rank S in and a tier list you'd rank F in? Ooh. That's a really good question.
They're coming in with the good ones.
Ooh. That's tough. I have to think about that one. All right. Okay. I gotta think about that. How many wigs do I have? Oh, girl, I've lost count. Especially ever since my friend gave me a big trunk of them. Like, there's at least a dozen just in there. And then I know I have some like in plastic bags, like compressed to like save room, and then there are a bunch that are like still on the wig heads. They're gonna be my tax write-off though. My wigs are gonna be my tax write-off. Dozens, not 100, but definitely like dozens. It's like under 50. It feels like a lot. It still feels like a lot. Let's see. Dream YouTube collab. I would love to collaborate with my fellow they them causing mayhem Dead Domain someday. I'd like to collab with Anthony Gramuglia. I got to be a guest on his Kingdom Hearts charity stream. That was super fun. Harlan Spinks, because we've both done videos on fascist fashion. And he also knows a lot, or he also knows a lot about the punk scene, and I'm like, not too many other people do. That's off the top of my head. I'm sure I'll think of more. If Kayla says wants to and she's still here.
Shoot your shot, girl.
Any makeup recommendations? I like NYX. NYX is probably the best like drugstore brand. Like it's a little bit more expensive than like CoverGirl, but CoverGirl's ass. Um, but as far as like drugstore brands, like NYX, Wet and Wild, um, that's Revolution. I like Revolution. Those are the big three, and then I have a few like I have like a couple like high end lipsticks or a couple like high end palette like eyeshadow palettes. Like I have an Urban Decay palette that like I got for Christmas, but um, favorite Eric Andre season.
Hmm.
That's tough. That's really hard. Eric Andre show
That's
is
a
one of my
tough one.
favorite shows of all time. The first one I ever saw, so Mitchell got me into it. And the first one he ever showed me was the Wiz Khalifa one.
I think that was maybe season. I think that was either season 2 or 3. I don't remember which season that is. But
Yeah.
it was when he had like his hair kind of like in that kind of like
The Cat Williams
straight,
hair.
the Cat Williams
Yeah.
hair, exactly.
I love Cat Williams.
Hey, when you take a whiz, do you get a sense of Khalifa?
I showed that to my parents, like, after you did, and they loved it so much. And then we ended up all watching the Eric Andre show. Like, the Eric Andre show quite literally brought my family together.
Yes, that's what he
Like,
does. That's what he does.
how do I feel about math? I cannot do it. I'm mathematically challenged. Is um is Green Day punk? Yes. Especially after their Coachella performance, cuz one of the I can't believe that there still aren't that many people doing it. It should be the bare minimum, but they're one of the only like big name bands to say a goddamn word about Palestine. Um my favorite Dead Kennedys album. I think my favorite song is "Bleed for Me," which is off of Plastic Surgery Disasters. But my favorite album, I think, is Frankenchrist. Also, something I've realized recently is they were right about everything. So like when I
Well,
was
up to
18, I was like the Dead Kennedys are right about everything. And then I was in like my early 20s and I'm like actually it's a little bit more complicated than that. And then in my mid 20s it's like actually like, they kind of missed the mark on these kinds of issues, or they didn't really like take these kinds of things into account with their take. And now I'm 30 and I'm like the Dead Kennedys are right about everything.
Well, but wasn't there like that whole thing where like the all the members that weren't Jello Biafra like ended up like supporting Mitt Romney or something?
When I say the Dead Kennedys, I mean
When you say the Dead Kennedys, you mean a certain window of time.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I think they broke up in 86 officially.
Yeah.
But from 1977 to 86, they were right about everything. But it was mostly Jello was right about everything. And okay, can I tell you guys my villain origin story? So it was the day after January 6th. That January 6th. And I was at the DMV. And I was there for hours, and I was scrolling through Twitter, and I came across the official Dead Kennedys Twitter tweeted in support of Mitt Romney. For reference, the Dead Kennedys were once called the most dangerous band in punk rock. And they were. They weren't allowed to play at a lot of places because of their name. Also, the fact that the Kennedy assassination was like not that long, not that long before, like 15 years. And oh my god, where was I going with this? Fuck. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. This happens to me a lot. So they were like, "Oh, he's doing Mitt Romney cares about the USA. He's like standing up to the January 6th rioters or whatever." And everybody in the comments is like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Uh and then um and then they were like, "Oh, we got hacked." It's like, "No, you didn't." And then they changed the story and they were like, "Oh, it was our social media person. We don't actually run the account." I'm like, "You guys aren't even trying. You aren't even fucking trying." No, not Jello. I'll get to that. After this happened, so Jello doesn't actually post on social media. He has like people do it for him. Uh so they just like transcribe what he says. And his was more or less like, "Well, well, well. Look what happened." So anyway, I see this and I'm like, I'm like, am I going insane? I think I might actually be going insane. Uh and then they tweeted in support of Lindsey fucking Graham. And then East Bay Ray was like, "Well, no, that wasn't us. But even if it was, is it really so bad that they would?" I'm like, "You're not even trying." And then, I finally got called up. I pay all of my shit. I do everything that I need to do. And they were like, "Can you read the letters up on the sign?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, well, in all good conscience, we can't let you, we can't give you a new license. You have to get classes." But then I still had to get my picture taken. And I'm holding back a lot of pain in my current license picture. And that's how I got these glasses. And then,
the next time I look at your license picture, I'll just look in your eyes and I'll see just like that fractured soul back behind there going like, "I am going to become the Joker."
that was my moment of Homelander watching a video of himself in a hallway and then having a mental breakdown. That was me. Like, and I made an edit of that, but I like keyframed onto his phone the tweet. um so anyway, that was my villain origin story.
Brava.
Thanks. Thank you.
There's a question that I wanted to highlight that I think you could have some insight on. Hella anxious about going to college in the fall. Any tips for going to college / being queer in college? In parentheses, they put going to a southern college. I fear I'm cooked.
How southern where? Because there are certain cities in southern states that are a lot more queer friendly than like rural areas. Unless your college is also in a rural area. Um the cool thing about college is that it's actually pretty easy to find people you have things in common with. And then you make like a ton of friends your first couple of weeks there, and you're like, "We're gonna be best friends forever," and then you never talk to them again. You'll even see them on campus, and like you won't even make eye contact with them. You won't even wave.
Or in some scenarios, you make a whole bunch of friends your first week, and you only really still keep in contact with one of them after 10 years, and you make a YouTube channel with them.
Yeah, that exactly. Also, I mean, unless you're going to BYU, like, or like a Christian college, most schools, like public schools or like liberal arts colleges, they'll have like gay straight alliances, or like other like queer groups. Like you kind of just like find each other. It's most colleges do have queer straight alliances. So I'd say like look into like see if your college has that. Would highly recommend doing that. Lindsey Graham is like an evil baby somehow is also geriatric. My opinion on math, I cannot do it. And you're gonna be a math major? That's insane to me. That's so impressive. That's so crazily impressive and awesome. How to get thicker than frozen peanut butter. Hip abductor exercises, deadlifts, leg curls, back extensions if your back can take it. Squats, not really. Squats are usually target your legs more. But deadlifts are usually better than that. Oh, and thrusts, like when you thrust the bar up with your crotch, that'll really do it. Let's see. Someone who's queer lives in the South and goes to college, I'm fine, but I'm more towards the city where it's always if you're near a major city, your odds are better of being okay. You will probably be okay. Just, find your people. Find, I mean you can probably look it up, just like whatever college you're going to, look up this college, like gay straight alliance or queer straight alliance, and see if they have it or something similar. Are you a furry? No, it looks fun though. I know a lot of people who are. They seem to be having a great time. How many mathematicians are in the chat? That's amazing.
An unexpected demographic that we've attracted.
We got to be careful to not piss off the queer mathematician community.
We'll keep that in mind. Damn it, we were just about to do like a very thorough roasting of Alan Turing.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Even the very conservative bubble is in it, still managed to find a coffee shop that's explicitly queer. Yeah, it like the spaces they're fewer and far between, but they are there. That's okay. Scotch. Have a great rest of your Saturday or Sunday if it's Sunday where you are. I don't know. I think the chat is all mathematicians. I ain't. Fellas, is it K to do math? Favorite Muppet? Is it a cliche to say Miss Piggy?
Not a cliche at all. I mean, Miss Piggy is the drag queen of the Muppet canon.
Yeah, I like Gonzo too. I like Gonzo. I like Rizzo.
My favorite, like, obscure Muppet, or like more like lower tier Muppet, New Zealand.
New Zealand.
The one with the mustache who throws fish.
I mean, also, what an amazing warning. Hang on. Weird.
Everything good?
Yeah, I think just my connection was like kind of fucky.
Yeah.
It's whatever. What is my favorite synthesizer? I don't really know a lot about I don't really know what they're all called, which is kind of sad because I love synthesizers. And I love using them in whenever I make my own music. When I actually, your connection is stuttering a lot. God damn it. Hang on. Let me change the bit rate real quick. All right, I lowered the bit rate.
Hopefully the connection's a bit better.
Yeah. Well, it says it's good. Looks smooth here?
Looks
Okay.
smooth on. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Carl Smith is asking your thoughts on J.K. Rowling.
Eliminate her. Nuke her from orbit.
In the
She's
most
a fucking
like,
menace to society. I swear to God. Sorry,
you
what were you gonna say?
in the most legal and non actionable in a court of law sense. In that sense, eliminate her. Yeah.
That's why I said nuked from orbit. I think it's over the top enough.
That people would get it, yeah. But that's the feeling.
Yeah. Favorite conservative artist. It's funny that you ask that question. It's funny that you ask that question because the video I'm working on is about one of them. And you know, I see a lot of cringy shit. Not just when I'm making not just for when I'm making videos, I mean just in general. You know, we all do. But all right, you'll like the next video. Next weekend, I will be dropping a video on a conservative artist.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. It's I mean, it is funny. There is one thing that I came across. It's not something this artist said, it's something a friend of his said, and he painted said friend in a very stupid painting. And it bummed me out so much. I mean, that's putting it mildly. It was like sometimes cuz you know, like I use Mitchell and I both use humor to cope with like watching the world crumble around us, right? Like we have to laugh at the horrors of life so we don't cry. I make a living making fun of these people. But sometimes, and usually it's like you can just kind of push it aside and laugh at them. And then, but sometimes like it catches up to you and you'll see something or you'll read something that makes it all catch up to you. And then it's like when you realize you haven't slept in a long time or you've been going on like 3 hours of sleep a night for the past week and it just kind of all catches up to you. And then you just kind of break and you're like, God damn it. I hate these people. I fucking hate these people so much. So much. I hate these people so fucking much. So I actually will probably have to put I'll probably have to put a content warning for one section of it. Other than that, I think it'll be pretty funny. And I had fun. I had a lot of fun roasting this guy. But I'm not saying who it is. But is it Edward Hopper? No. No. You'll see it.
But they're kind of close. They're kind of close there. I won't say anymore. I won't say anymore.
You give off Canadian vibes. That's not the first time I've heard that. No, I am born and raised in Southern California. And I've lived not in the same city my entire life, but I've lived in Southern California my entire life, and I went to school there, and I like it. I like it. I know people love to hate on California, and I think they're kind of jealous. I think it's a great state. I don't think it's the only good state, like some people think. Like I fucking love Portland.
Oh, I love Portland too.
Yeah.
I love where I'm at, but honestly, I'm probably the one person I know in Portland who's like really, really wanting to go back to Los Angeles. Well,
Yeah.
and by Los Angeles, I mean the San Fernando Valley. I
Yeah.
love the San Fernando Valley.
It's all LA.
But yeah, but all that's all basically considered the city state of LA.
Yeah.
Um,
The city
no,
state, truly.
I mean, but no, I really love LA and I love Southern California. I just love how wide open it all is. I love how big the sky is down there. I love all the different, how the whole world comes to there. I just really love it there.
PDX girl here. Have I taken birthright like to Israel? No. Fuck no. Absolutely not. Um, when I was in my early 20s, I considered it because one, I was woefully uneducated on everything, as were a lot of people, as were a lot of Jewish people, because Jesus Christ, the propaganda machine, runs very, very deep. Um, and two, it was like, I want to travel, but I don't have any money. So, like, should I take advantage of, half my heritage and, go on this trip, right? Um, and then, and then it never really happened. And then as I learned more and more about, like, the situation and like the reality of the situation, I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. Um, and I have a friend who went, and he had kind of the same reasoning as me. One, woefully uneducated, and two, wanted to travel but didn't have any money, so took advantage. So he went on it, and like, he had a good time there, but he did learn a lot about the reality of the situation, and he's very pro he's since then, like, very, very pro Palestine. And we talk about it a lot. And he was saying, like, he was like, I'm the only person in my tour group who isn't, like, a diehard Zionist. Like, everybody, like the brainwashing runs deep, and the brainwashing in of people in Israel runs very, very deep. Like, that is just what they're taught, which is super fucked up. His tour guide, apparently his tour guide was not like that. His tour guide was encouraged, because some of them will, like, tell you don't talk to Palestinian people, which is fucking awful. His tour guide didn't do that. He was like, hey, talk to these people, get to know them, they're my neighbors. I've known them my whole life, they're good people, they live here too, they deserve the same amount of respect as everybody else here, so make the effort to talk to them. But that was, like, an outlier. Most of them are not like that. Most of them are pretty fucking brainwashed. The propaganda machine runs deep, and once you know about, and it's so weird. Sorry to keep going off about this, but it's on my mind all the time. It's so
Don't be
weird
sorry.
because a big part of Judaism, and I wasn't raised super religious. Half of my family is Jewish, the other half of my family is Catholic. I was raised with influences from both. Um but, like, I never had a bar mitzvah. I never had a confirmation. Uh I never went to Hebrew school or anything. I never I didn't go to Catholic school. But I grew up, like, learning about both. And one thing that sets Judaism apart from, uh at least Christianity, I've noticed, is that you're not only allowed to question things, you're encouraged to question things. And a lot of times it's like they'll give you the same answer. They'll keep giving you the same answers, but you're allowed to question things, And I think that's also part of the reason why a lot of Jewish people become atheists like later in life. My dad is one of those people. And his dad was one of those people. My grandma maintained very much like maintained her Jewish faith. They weren't Orthodox or anything, but like she still very much like maintained her faith and everything. Um, and it's just so weird because it's like, okay, a big tenet of Judaism is questioning things, and yet not why are so many of you not questioning this thing that's like why are you not questioning one of the biggest human rights violations and crimes against humanity in of the 21st century? Like, how of all the things that we question, why is this not one of them? Why is the loyalty so deep when it hasn't done shit for us? Like Israel hasn't done fucking shit for the Jewish community, and if anything, they're just further hurting the Jewish community because get this, the Stop Anti-Semitism bill that they're trying to pass right now. You know about this, Mitchell. There's a clause in it that says it is okay to say that the Jews killed Jesus. The oldest anti-Semitic dog whistle in the fucking book. There is a clause in the Stop Anti-Semitism bill that says it's totally cool to say that.
Because that bill isn't really about, trying to protect Jewish people or
exactly
trying to protect anybody except, evangelicals. Like that's what it's from, and that's what it's there for. Is like evangelical Zionists are, a huge, factor in all of this, and the evangelical right is incredibly pro-Israel, and and is also incredibly anti-Semitic. So it's so interesting, isn't it? To put it kindly, it's interesting, isn't it? How words and language can just sort of be used in whatever way.
Yeah. What does Zionist mean? Why is it bad? It's a political movement that was actually started by an atheist. That's like, it's based on the idea of like, this is our homeland that we are entitled to, and most Jewish people never asked for that. Like, because like most Jewish people like embrace diasporism, which is the idea of like, we don't need our own state to be safe. We can make our home wherever we want. Every Jewish holiday is, they tried to kill us, we won, let's eat. Like, we are resilient people. We don't need our own fucking state. But it was like the idea, because it became a thing after World War II. We know about what happened to Jewish people in World War II. So it was like okay, we are reeling from this. Give Jewish people a safe space, but it was like at the cost of other people. You know what I mean? It's not like it was just like an empty fucking tract of land. Like, there were already fucking people there. Like,
the slogan,
it's insane.
The slogan at the time was, a land without a people for a people without a land. Except for the fact that no, there were lots and lots of people that were there for generations and generations and generations.
Exactly.
And then there's the argument of like, but we were here like 3,000 years ago. And it's like, okay, but what happened in between kind of matters, and where people were and where they lived for thousands of years kind of matters too. Like, if you want to play that game to its like absolute limit, then technically we're all from Central Africa. That doesn't mean that I can roll into, fucking, Kenya and be like, hey, this house is mine.
Yeah.
I'm indigenous to here. It's like, no, fuck that.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy. And
Here's the thing, not that white Westerners have ever needed an excuse to roll onto the African continent and try and claim land as their own, but you get what I mean. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's the line of thinking there.
I'm African American. I don't think I'm owed African land. Yes. And that's the other thing. It's like, okay, do we give we committed a genocide against Native Americans? Should we give them their own state? You know what I mean? Like, it's
frankly, I don't think anyone even if they've survived atrocities, I don't think anyone's entitled to an ethno state.
Exactly. And not only
I don't like states, period, but
yeah,
ethno states especially.
Yeah, it's God, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just now realizing I'm really hungry. But I don't want to leave yet. Do you read philosophy and or have any trans feminism books to suggest? I don't. I'm sorry.
You'll want to go to Philosophy Tube for that. They're the ones with the master's degree.
Yeah, I don't read as much. This was my biggest fear aside from technical issues. The people who follow me on Twitch already know what I'm like unscripted, but so many of you I'm pretty sure don't follow me on Twitch, so I'm like, okay, they're now about to see how actually stupid I am and how I like lose my train of thought all the time, even though I took my Vyvanse today. I remembered.
We stand a medicated queen.
Hollow Coffin, thank you for being here and sending you good vibes as well. I'm taking Ireland back.
Oh, there was a question from Rubber Gopher earlier. Do you ever want to travel to Europe? And I'd add on to that, where in Europe would you want to travel to?
I mean, where there aren't that many places in Europe that I wouldn't want to see, because I got a lot of Eastern European DNA in me. I got a lot of Spanish DNA. I got some cool. I'm 50% Ukrainian Jew on one side. Like, that's my dad's entire family. And at first we thought it was Russian, fully Russian. And then he did another DNA test, and it's like, okay, scratch that. You are still entirely 50% this thing, but it's actually Ukrainian, not Russian. So that was something I learned super recently. Team Vyvanse, absolutely. I would actually really like to see Germany. I want to go to Berlin. Berlin looks like a fucking happening city. I want to go to the club that Elon Musk got turned away from. I would give anything to be the bouncer that turned him away from that club. I don't even want to go inside the club. I just want to meet the guy who did it and shake his hand and say thank you for your service.
Danke.
God.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. It's Zionism cannot be conflated with Judaism, as they are fundamentally different. Yeah, Zionism was like started by a racist atheist, a race theist, if you will. Sleep time for you. Have a great sleep. Have a good
Thank
sleep.
you for joining us.
I want to go to Mexico.
Ooh,
Mexico's
I've been a couple times.
Oh, you have? Oh, that sounds so fun.
Well, okay, I've only really been once. I mean, I've been there
when I was like a really, really like little kid on a family vacation, but it was so long ago, and I don't even really know what part of Mexico we went to.
Oh.
But in 2018, end of 2018, my family and I all went to Sayulita, which is like a few miles outside of Puerto Vallarta,
Yeah.
and it was a very beautiful place. I mean,
Yeah.
just the food was great. The people were wonderful. The beach was marvelous. Um, Oddly enough, I mean, because I'm on the mend from food poisoning right now, but that was the last time I had really, really, really bad food poisoning. Um,
Oh. Oh my god.
but
So fun fact, this was before the pandemic. Matt went to Mexico without me, which was really cool. Kind of had a big fight about it.
oh,
It's a long story. It's fine. I'm not still mad about it, but
yeah,
that happened. And he ate these like gooseberries and he offered them to everybody else and everyone else was like no. So he was the only one who ate them. And then for like years, like 3 years, he was having stomach issues and did not know why. So he finally went to the doctor for like the first time in his entire life. At this point, he's in his mid 30s. And he went to the doctor and had tests done, and they found like a bacteria that is like indigenous to that part of Mexico.
wow.
Yeah. And so they gave him like antibiotics. Like he's fine. He doesn't but he had to be on antibiotics for like a few weeks to get rid of
That
it.
that's crazy that bacteria like that can like persist for years.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean he wasn't like super messed up for it, but it was like he was having stomach issues that he had never been having before. Um,
Man.
can I do cartwheels? No. I can't I can't do a lot physically. Aside from bottoming. I
I
think it's
I
the only
cannot do cartwheels either.
yeah.
Nor can Michael, whoever Michael is. Um, it's all right. I'm just messing with you. The name is Mitchell. That might have just been like autocorrect or something there.
Or it's just or people are just gonna I hope you don't get the Burt Kreischer curse where everybody mispronounces your name on purpose and they're like, hey, it's Brent Crystals.
Honestly, that'd be hilarious. No, but for real, like that's kind of why I've been introducing myself more as Mitch over the last like year or two because like honestly, like Mitchell just becomes Michael in people's heads.
Alright, I'll
Or
call
if
you
it's
Mitch then.
or no, 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 no. I'm not saying that to say like I prefer it or anything. I have no strong preference for Mitch or Mitchell or whatever, but I've just noticed that like if people hear Mitchell or they hear it in passing or if they just read it, then it just kind of gets filtered in with Michael for some reason. The weirdest one I got was Matthew. I have
Jesus
no idea
Christ.
I have no idea how that happened. They were probably having a terrible day when they looked at an M and an I and a Tchell and they saw Matthew.
They
But
might have been having a stroke.
I hope they're doing okay. It was at a doctor's office, so maybe they're they had if they were having a stroke, then they had help nearby.
um I not to put myself on a pedestal or anything, I made a pretty banger joke when I was playing Fallout the other day. And I found a pair of welding goggles. And I said, me when I'm having a stroke and someone asks me who plays the ghoul in Fallout. Welding goggles.
Well, oh, for Christ's sake! I just put it together.
So stupid.
That is the stupidest.
I, I saw a meme that was me when I'm having a stroke and someone asks me who Roseanne was married to in or who Roseanne was married to in Roseanne, and it said join Goodreads.
Join Goodreads. Star of the Big Lebowski and the 90s Flintstones movie, voice of Sully and Monsters Inc. Join Goodreads.
Joy. Oh God. Would you support your child if they came out to you as an A artist? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not. Are you predisposed to any illnesses? Like it's mostly just mental illness that runs in my family. Like almost everybody in my mom's family has ADHD. There are like 2 people who don't have it. Everybody else though, including my mom and me, like the ADHD gene runs deep. I'm glad I didn't get this. They're schizophrenic. There are a couple schizophrenics on both sides of my family. I'm glad I didn't get that one. Do you also think Fallout New Vegas is the best? So I was just talking to my partner about this the other day. I think because I played 3, 4 New Vegas, and I think all of them do something better than the others. I think 3 has the most rewarding exploration. I think 4 is the best as like an overall game, just like with the amount of shit that you can do. Not just like the building and crafting aspect of it, which I like the Minecrafting part of it, which I love. I love that part. I love building shit. But also like the power, like that you can like get and mod power armor. You can mod weapons. You can start romantic relationships with people, including everybody's favorite ghoul. My boy Hancock. I always romance Hancock every single time. I don't know what it is about that guy that makes me giggle and kick my feet. But I think New Vegas is my favorite because I think it has the best writing, and it really nails the humor the best out of all of them. Like it really nails that like dark humor, and they do a really good job of like striking that balance between it being like really funny and goofy, and also be like there are some aspects of it that are like Jesus Christ, that is fucking like Vault 11, Fallout New Vegas, fuck so dark. Watch Oxhorn's video on it. Watch Oxhorn in general. He is the best Fallout content creator, and that's pretty much why I'm never going to do a Fallout video, because that man, he soothes me. It's like when you put a goat into a stable with a jumpy horse and it kind of calms the horse down. That's what Oxhorn does for me. Let me see. Let's see.
Pterodox says that they're off to work and that they love us both. We love you too, Pterodox.
I love you so much. My precious sweet baby boy. Thoughts on ethical non-monogamy? I don't really have an opinion. I don't know. I don't know. A couple that I'm friends with like recently like started a throuple with somebody, and I'm like, didn't you guys like just get married like not that long ago? But I don't know. I remember like a few years like before a year before the pandemic, my partner and I like kinda sorta ish tried opening up, and then I realized like I don't actually want to do this. Like it's like once I was in a situation where I could get with somebody else, I realized like, oh, I don't actually want this. I thought I did, but I actually don't. And it made me think of that Patrice O'Neill bit about how you have to allow a man to fish. It goes for anybody. And it's not just men. It goes for anybody. Of like knowing it's a self-confidence thing of like knowing that you could if you want, knowing that you still could if you wanted to. You don't actually want to, but it's just for that feeling of being able to be like, I still got it, you know? So then once you know that, you're like, okay, I'm going home to my monogamous partner, and I don't actually, and then you realize like, oh, I don't actually want to get with other people. That's just me though. Like I know so many poly people in thruples or polycules, and they're having a grand old time, and I love that for them. So anyway.
Sorry, I just read one. Girl, how are you Skyping with yourself out of drag?
Like right now? Wait, I'm confused.
Thomas Keck down there is like looking at the screen and seeing you on top and me on the bottom, saying it looks like you Skyping with yourself out of drag.
First of all, that's the first and last time somebody has ever described me as a top. Um Favorite Fallout characters. I love my boy Arcade Gannon. Holy fuck. The guy's the best. I hate that he's voiced by Zachary Levi. It might be the best performance that Zachary Levi has ever given in his entire stupid fucking life. I hate him. I hate him so much, but I love Arcade Gannon. Arcade and Veronica. Veronica in New Vegas is awesome. I call her one punch woman. Because she literally murders people with one punch. It's amazing. And in 4, Hancock is definitely my fave. Let's see. Is it possible for a noob gamer like me to become a pro? Figure out how old I don't know how Ultra Kill works. I've never played that. Do I normally pick a female or male character in video games? Usually female. Sometimes I'll switch it up. Like one time I played a game of New Vegas as a guy just so that I could flirt with Arcade. You can't have a relationship with him, but you can flirt with him. and then you can recruit him, and it's like, all right, let's roll queens. Let's these two divas in the wasteland. Do I have a day job? Not really anymore. I do freelance editing work as like supplemental. It used to be my main source of income. And then I also used to work in post-production on a show. Can't say what show it was. It was a historical drama. Apparently they finished filming last season. They said they were going to bring me on for the last season, and then they didn't. So
that's showbiz.
It's whatever. I mean, it's like I get it. Like I was the new guy. Like I was the most disposable person, you know? So everybody else had been working there for like several seasons, and I was like the new guy. So I never really like fully fit in with everybody. I even drank red wine so that I could fit in with them, and I hate red wine. I always forget that Felicia Day plays Veronica. Why do I always forget that? How do I feel about the DMC anime? I loved it. It's very it was very current event coded. Like very I mean it could be applied to a lot of different situations, but I was like it's giving the Gaza conflict a little bit. It's giving that. Not entirely. It's like that it's not like a direct parallel, but there are some things about it that kind of remind me of not just like any event in history similar to this one, because this isn't the first time this has happened. Even though people, they love to say never again, and it's like, yes, that means for everybody, not just Jewish people. Come on, you guys. I said that at the Passover table a couple of weeks ago. And I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm drunk and I'm holding my dog. And I was like, never again means because we started and there's a portion in the Seder manual that has like a never again thing, and I'm like, yeah, never again means never again for everybody. And my mom was the only one who was like, yeah. I don't think they knew what I was referring to. Anonymous just donated $100 to races. Holy shit. Anonymous.
Thank you,
Anonymous.
Holy heck.
Anonymous. I love
Oh,
her.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Earlier, someone was asking if you had played the shoot, what are they? Oh, the Yakuza Like a Dragon series.
Yeah, don't get mad at me for this. I like the turn-based ones better than the beat 'em ups that Kiryu stars in. Please don't be mad at me for that. But also I I don't know. Also like turn-based games have to be like really well done for me to like really get into them, and I think they did it really really well. But I tried playing the Goro Majima game that just came out. I went as Goro Majima for Halloween. I fucking love that guy. I've thought of doing a Majima look for a future video. I just didn't know like, you know, when it would be good to do it. I wasn't feeling the game. I wasn't really vibing with it. Since you're not naming the show here, what's the most ridiculous story from working on it? If I told you, it would out the show, unfortunately.
Oh.
I think maybe I mean, in retrospect, it's like at the time I was like, how dare this bitch? But in retrospect, I'm like, we figured it out. The editors were amazing, and what the editor for that episode did with it to work around these new confines that we were given for a pivotal scene, it ended up working out even better, in my opinion. So it's like, editing's cool. Thoughts on Neil Gaiman? Fuck that guy. 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 This video isn't monetized, so fuck that guy.
Yeah. I was a big fan of his. I was a big fan of his writing, and Coraline is one of my favorite movies ever, still. But yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck
I'm
that
not
guy.
touching this anymore.
Fuck Amanda Palmer for trying to victimize herself in it. Yeah. That shit pisses me off. I used to want to get an Amanda Palmer tattoo. But what did Neil Gaiman do?
Oh Lord.
Well, I don't like.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Where
Neil
do we
Gaiman
start?
basically leveraged. What did Neil Gaiman do? He did The Nanny. Is the funny way of putting it.
It is a funny way of putting it.
The not funny way of putting it is that he committed sexual assault against several young women, some of which were in his employ, some were friends of friends, others were fans, and was just an incredibly creepy, manipulative, abusive dude.
Yeah.
Not a good guy. He's yeah.
But also the fact that he always had that like, oh, like I'm a feminist kind of vibe to him. And it was like I don't know, if a straight guy calls himself a feminist, it's like, are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
I always feel like, feminist is like one of those gift words. Like, you can't really call yourself that. Someone else has to call what you do feminist or in line with it. Like, if you try to give it if you give that label to yourself, especially as you said, if you're
a straight dude, then like a straight cis dude, then it's like it's very suspect.
Very Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is such a monster that he actually made me feel kind of bad for Gal Gadot.
Almost.
Almost. Well, it's just like nobody deserves that kind of abuse in a professional setting. You know what I mean? But also, I hate her. So I don't know. She's also probably the worst actress of all time. Can we talk about that? Okay. Really quick. See, I don't know if some of you might know this, some of you might not. Gal Gadot just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? For the first time in my life, and which is crazy because I've lived in in and around LA my entire life. I've been going to Hollywood all the time since I was a child. I mean, I hate going now, but it's like, but I still find myself there all the time. I've been interested in films since like wanting to go into films since like elementary school. She got her star on the Walk of Fame, and for the first time in my life, I Googled criteria for Hollywood Star Walk of Fame. And the criteria is shockingly low. The only one like the only barriers I would have to overcome is the fact that you have to pay for your ceremony, which is like 75 grand. But the application fee is like $200. I'm like, I can cough that up, like no problem. You have to be doing what you're doing for 5 years, so in a year from June, and then you get enough nominations from people, and then as long as you can pay for your own ceremony. I don't know if that's how it always was, but that is currently how it is. I mean, Green Day just got their star on the Walk of Fame. They deserved it, okay? They deserved it.
Yeah.
They deserve recognition. They're cool. I love Green Day. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. But yeah, like Gal Gadot going, I'm like, they're really just giving one of these to everybody nowadays, aren't they? We can start the GoFundMe right now. No, no data.
Stream lag.
Oh shit. There we go. All right. Are we back? Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Hopping back to something.
Yeah.
Lies of PP. Beautiful name, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a serious question. Are you going to fancy up your YouTube plaque? Put it in drag or something fun like that? I think that could be interesting.
That is actually a really good idea. That's actually an amazing idea. I'm not even kidding. And I just submitted the thing today because it takes like a week or two for them to like review your channel, confirm the amount of subs, make sure you don't have any like strikes or like community violations or whatever. And then when I opened the YouTube Studio app today, a pop-up came up where it was like, "Hey, congrats. You want to fill out this thing for your trophy?" And I'm like, "Yes, I would." Heels for the plaque, yeah. What if I put her in here? Would she fit?
Ooh. Well,
would she
how
fit?
big is the plaque?
I do need.
What are the dimensions? I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Well, apparently they changed the size of it. I don't know what they changed the size to. It wouldn't tell me. But it's okay. Or I could have this guy hold it. Depending on how
Not
big
a bad
it is.
notion.
Are you required to have the plaque visible? No. But I mean,
By the way, I'm still with you. I'm just gonna turn off my camera real quick. I have to grab a charger.
Yeah, go for it. Um, Confined Center of drag eye makeup inspired by. I think it's the other way around. Drag has been a thing for, like, I mean, since like BCE era. But it was up until like the mid nine up until like the mid 1900s. A big part of it was like women just weren't allowed on the stage. Um, and I have a whole video about that, which you should definitely watch because it didn't do very well. It didn't perform very well. Um, if you got to voice a character on the new norm, what would the character be like? That's rough. Do they have any new characters? I would definitely want to be. I would want to be the they them that everybody is terrified of, that fucking Dave Rubin plays. Dave Dave Rubin. You know, honestly, I'm glad he exists so that, like, to prove to the world that not all gay people are funny. Most of them are. I'm probably gonna bounce at 6 because I am so hungry.
You've been going at this
Yeah,
for almost 4 hours now, so
all right, 12 minutes. 12 you got, or 11 minutes. Have I seen Juana Man? No, I have not.
love. I haven't seen it either, but I love that title.
Uh,
Must check it out.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. Hang on.
There's this really great movie rental place in Portland called Movie Madness. I'm going to be going there sometime this week. I'll see if they have Juana Man, if it's available, like in physical form. I'd love to check it out.
I've not. I'm looking it up right now. 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. That seems harsh. Keep
10%.
exploring movies. Okay, these are the recommended movies. That was like, oh, you searched Juana Man. Here are other titles you might be interested in. I'm not fucking kidding. A Simple Favor, Hurricane Bianca, Cabaret, and The Conqueror.
The Conqueror?
The Conqueror.
The John
Wayne and Yellowface movie.
So the first few are like, oh, so we're looking for like some good campy, feminine fun, and then the last one, I guess, is recommended because it also has a very low Rotten Tomatoes score.
I mean, everybody who worked on it like died from cancer because they shot on like a nuclear testing site. They like didn't disclose it enough to the cast and crew, and it's rumored, or it's possible that when John Wayne got cancer, it was because of that. Like half the people who worked on it got cancer. Like, it's
dreadful.
crazy.
It is crazy.
They got the rads. They got the rads poisoning.
That's what you get for, being a racist asshole, who sells out, his colleagues during McCarthyism.
God. Yeah, good riddance, by the way. Fuck that guy.
Truly.
Literal Nazi.
Absolutely overrated American personality.
Didn't bring Rad away. Yeah, they didn't. They should have popped some Radix. Yeah. Also,
someone was. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so, I had heard this story from a bunch of people, but then somebody, in the comments said that it wasn't true, so I'm gonna have to fact check it. But when he, allegedly, it took, 6 security guards to restrain him from, rushing the stage to, beat up that one girl who, I mean, she was actually Hispanic and she was cosplaying as a Native American. Nobody knew that though. And so she went up in Marlon Brando's place because he won for The Godfather, but he wasn't going to the Oscars because he was protesting like Hollywood's depiction of Native Americans and and people of color. And it's just like you could have backed her up a little bit, man. Like could have done so. I mean, I get the sentiment, but you could have backed her up. And then it came. So she went in his place and like accepted it on his behalf because of that. And then supposedly, it like a bunch of security guards had to hold back John Wayne from like threatening to beat her up. And I had heard this story like a bunch of times, but somebody in the comments said it wasn't true. But it also isn't surprising. I don't know.
It's it's one of those things where it's like, it's one of those things where it's like it may not be true, but in our hearts it's true.
Yeah, it's like yeah, that tracks. And then it ended up coming out that she wasn't actually Native American. I think she was Costa Rican or something.
Well,
Um,
I'll check on that just because I know that like
he
I
was
know
not. He
that
wasn't gay. He
story
was
is
bi.
I know that story was complicated or something like that, but I'll look into the details on that whole Marlon Brando Oscar fiasco thingamajig.
Also, Jameson P. He was bi. He was not gay. He was very, very bi. Apparently, what I wouldn't have given to be a fly on the wall. Apparently he and James Dean would meet up frequently for BDSM sessions. God damn it, every time I saw James Dean, I was like, I always knew that guy was a fucking bottom. I always knew. I know a bottom when I see one, god damn it. So apparently that was a thing that they did. And the reason James Dean had a bunch of cigarette burns on his chest was because Marlon Brando would put out his cigarettes on his chest, and I'm like, what I wouldn't give to have been a fly on the wall. I would have sold my parents to Satan to see that happen.
You're tearing me apart.
Isn't that Tommy Wiseau?
No, that's James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh.
Tommy Wiseau ripped that off in the room.
God damn it.
Trust me, if it were Tommy Wiseau, you'd know that I was doing Tommy Wiseau.
I know you would. Anonymous, thank you for donating $5 to races. Speaking of races. Circle back to the tier list question. S tier, and F tier. S tier in completely fucking useless trivia and lore that nobody cares about except me. I've been really into old Hollywood lore and trivia lately, which is how I knew about that story. Those two divas, the lore never ends with them. It's endless. Who was it? Why am I blanking on that? Who is the YouTuber who did that really good video on James Dean?
Kaz Rowe, I believe.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, she did an amazing video on James Dean. I highly recommend it.
Ooh, is it she or they? I'm afraid I don't remember their pronouns.
I am afraid I don't remember either. She or they.
Let's go
Kazro.
Sorry?
Kazro's the boat.
But we'll go they just to be on the safe side. They
Yeah.
did an amazing video on James Dean.
Yes, very much so.
But that was S tier. F tier.
F tier. They use they them pronouns? Okay, thank you for correcting me. It's hard to say. I'm just so good at everything. I'm kidding.
Math.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think of something funnier than math. But yeah, I'm really bad at math.
Forehead real estate.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I'd say it's like a low C, because it's not. I've seen people with much smaller foreheads than mine, and I'm like, that's gotta suck. You can't. You would actually need to like shave your. You would actually need to shave your hairline if you wanted to do drag with how low those hairlines are. But
For real.
F tier
Oh,
top. That's yeah. Okay, let's go with that. Cause I can't do that.
it's
All the
not your
res-
bag.
all the respect in the world to the people who can. It's 5:58. Y'all got 2 minutes, and then I got to bounce. Um,
I have a question.
yes.
Um, what would you say is your most underrated video that you've put out so far? I think
Ooh.
I already know, and I think you might have already addressed it. But hey, for those who haven't, for those maybe who joined late.
I'm looking at the list right now so that I can think of it. Um, recently, probably like my drag history video.
Yeah,
The algorithm did not favor it. Uh, the drag queen storytime one. Um, it's just so good. I mean, I get why my Final Fantasy one didn't do very well, but also like that one was exhausting. That was like after that I'm like I don't ever want to do gaming content ever again unless I
totally
have
get
like a
it.
team of editors, which I super don't. Um my apparently the Daily Wire makes movies now videos didn't do super well, but those were fun.
And
Even
that
though
was a while back before your channel kind of blew up.
yeah.
Um, there were some other questions from some folks in the chat, just
Yes.
real quick with the little time we have. What's
Yeah.
something you want to accomplish before you hit 200,000?
Uh, to be able to pay you to help me edit my videos.
Thank you, but I'm happy to do this just the way it is. I mean, look, I'm not doing it. It's like we said earlier, don't do it for the money. Do it because you really, really enjoy it. I
Yeah,
mean, and
I
hopefully,
know.
if it gets successful enough and sturdy enough, then you can start making money off of it. But I'm doing it because
Yeah,
I love you and I love what you do.
and I love you too.
Um, but if you direly needed more money, would you likely start a vlog channel or make an OF?
So I've considered making an OnlyFans, but it would be like me. It would be like me taking LSD and then like trying to bake bread or something, or like um
Just the most esoteric, most obtuse use of an OnlyFans.
yeah. Also the most esoteric use of LSD.
Truly.
and
Would
I
you two
know
ever?
and I know that halfway through I'd be like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this.
Why are you looking at me? Would you two ever host a podcast together?
um, if we had like an interesting premise for one, like
I agree.
like
I
what
mean,
the
I
dollop
like the
does.
idea just because I like talking just all sorts of shit with you.
Yeah, we're
But
both
it's
yappers.
we're both yappers, but at the same time, like, yeah, the podcast world is just sort of like so oversaturated right now, and like we would really have to have like an interesting like hook or like real like goal with it in order to like make it
Yeah.
interesting.
Like if you guys don't listen to the dollop, you absolutely should. But it's the premise is a guy picks a person or an event from a day in American history and reads about it to his friend who has no idea what the topic is going to be about. Um, and they've been doing it for like over 10 years now, and they started a new one called The Pastimes, where he picks a newspaper from a random date in history, and they have to guess like when the year is, and it's it's so wild. It's really fucking funny. If you want a good starting place, watch the episode they did with Patton Oswalt on Ronald Reagan. It's a two-parter, and it's so good. Do the old Hollywood podcast. Ugh, that would bore people.
Who cares? I mean, you've got the main channel for all of the mainstream, viewers. The podcast could just be a fun side project for the more niche stuff.
I do have a recommended Instagram account if you want look up an account called It's John Joseph. I actually went to high school with this guy. But his whole thing, he makes like old Hollywood lore videos. It's how I found out about one of my favorite pieces of it, which is very long. I don't have time to get into it, but check his channel out. And apparently he just got a job doing tours at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Like he now hosts tours there. And he just did like a red carpet event recently, and I'm like, bruh, that goes Incredible. So hard. That's so cool. But yeah, definitely look him up. So I told you the lore never fucking ends with this dude. Look up the fucking the Eric Cartman Scott Tenorman level feud that Frank Sinatra had with Brando. God damn it. It is so fucking funny, and it goes from 0 to 100 real fast.
Oh, Francis, since we've gone over, there's only, I think we can allow one more question, and if I may make an executive decision, it's from our dear friend Pterodox, who's popping back in because they have some time to kill before opening. Last question. If your drag persona was a cocktail, what would you be?
Tough. I would probably a Cosmo. Just that's one of my drinks of choice, and one of my favorite things to do if I go to a bar, like a bar, like a real straight guy bar. I love ordering. I'll order a Cosmo there, and it's like I found a new way to upset people by doing absolutely nothing, because they're like, I don't know why that bothers me so much. That's finding a new way to confuse people.
That's the most Buddy Cole ass drink order I can imagine.
Well, I was thinking like, because I've been really into martinis lately. Because I got this pink gin, and I just dyed my hair a very similar color to it, and I was like, ooh, I want that. And it's pretty good. Jack and Coke, I'm not a whiskey guy. What's in a Cosmo? It's like a fancy vodka cranberry. Vodka, Cointreau, cranberry juice, and lime juice. Pretty fire.
And to Rosalie, the podcast we recommended was The Dollop.
Yes. The Dollop is fantastic, and so is The Pastimes. I've also been really into god-awful movies. And god-awful movies did an episode with Dead Domain that is fucking hilarious. Because Dead Domain's fucking hilarious. God damn, they're the best.
So cool. I was so hyped when I saw that they, knew who you were, and that they,
oh my God,
followed you. Like, that was such a... I mean, there was that, and then, of course, there was Vivian Wilson, and then recently, wasn't it David Arquette?
Oh my God, I woke up the other day to find out that David Arquette was following me on Instagram, And it wasn't a follow back. I was not already following him. He followed me first. And I'm like, oh, word?
It's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That. And then I also found out that Scott Thompson knows who I am. And he knows about my Buddy Cole video, which is the first video I ever did. Have you ever wanted to violently throw up, but in like the best way possible? That's how I felt when I found out that Scott Thompson knows who I am.
So beautiful.
Have I listened to Ethel Cain? I've listened to like a little. I haven't listened to her enough to like have like a strong opinion on her, but she's pretty cool. David Arquette. It's Arquette, like Patricia Arquette.
And he's an actor. He's he was in Scream. He's
He's also a pro wrestler.
That too.
Yeah.
We're now at 6:08.
Yeah.
Pacific time.
All right. You love the dictator fashion video? Thank you. Some people didn't. That's fine. David Arquette is gay, is he? I don't know.
Not sure if he is.
Do you think only gay people follow me? I mean, mostly, but okay. Anywho, I'm gonna call it here. Thank you so much for fucking being here and seeing what an idiot I am when I'm unscripted.
Thank you all for joining us. Like, you're all the best. Thank you for supporting the channel. Like, this is so lovely.
This has been amazing.
And also, thank you, Queen Coke Francis, for delivering such fun and funny and insightful content, and for, doing, as we've talked about a couple of times so far during this chat, finding ways to smile and laugh and to stay strong when the bastards want to keep us down.
Yeah.
For helping us to laugh for helping us to laugh to keep from crying. So thank you for that.
Thank you for if I manage to entertain you and make you laugh at any point, that's, first of all, it's pretty much all I'm good at. But also it's also like all I've ever really wanted to do, like for like as long as I could remember. And I never really knew how I could do that, because I was also like a shy kid, but I also really wanted to like entertain people and make them laugh, and I never really it wasn't, and I tried other things, like I did stand up for a few years, but it wasn't really vibing. But this is my favorite thing to do, and you guys have allowed me to be able to do my favorite thing for a living, which is more than 99% of the population can say. And I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without you. And I really appreciate you guys being here and enjoying these dumb videos that I make, and for asking me questions. I hope they weren't too disappointing. Because I get asked a lot, like, what's your drag origin story? I'm like, you're gonna be so disappointed. Edibles in a pandemic, that'll do it. Does a drag bug good. Yeah, this is fun. I might do another Q&A. Maybe when I get to 150 or 200. I mean, it took me almost 4 years to get to 100, but also it took me 3 years to get to 1,000. So, anyway.
It seems to exponentially grow. And also, thank you, Pterodox. I will feel better soon, hopefully.
You got this, man. Thoughts on mushroom edibles? Anything that makes it so that I don't have to chew the shroom? Great. But I feel... I love that I'm just old enough to remember when, one, edibles tasted like shit, and the only way to eat them was to convince yourself at least it's gonna get me high later. Or when mushrooms didn't come in an edible form and you had to like eat those motherfuckers on their own. And it's like I'm happy that that's not the case anymore, but I'm also like, god damn it. Motherfuckers will actually never know how bad shrooms taste. Taste awful. I'm a Molly guy myself. Anyway,
love you to bits.
I love you
thanks
all.
for joining us all in the chat.
And I'll see you around. And I'll have a new video up next week. And just have a chill ass Queen Irish goodbye. You haven't seen my Twitch streams, have you? All right. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your congratulations, and thank you for being cool. And I will.
And thanks for donating.
And thank you so much for your donations, especially. And until next time, howdy ho. All right.